Hey, here we go.
Or no?
Now we're on the air. Oh, what's up, bud?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm at the I've got like 30 minutes left in the old 80s Firestarter movie we were showing
Oh wow,
my
I haven't
daughters.
watched that in forever.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I had forgotten that it's got like Martin Sheen, George C. Scott, Heather Locklear, of course Drew Barrymore. But no, I was like, I've got to go. I've got like 30 minutes left. So I've sent out
the
some invites to some other people, but yeah, I'm glad that you got it. So what's going on, bud?
oh, as you know, that just launched the promo page for
Mm,
Backer Kit on uh, X Crawl Rodeo.
yeah,
So Backer Kit's rules are, if you have to have 200 something people to launch. If 200 people don't like and back you from or like follow you, you don't get the launch. I mean, I guess there's a way you could force it like Beatty did, but you know, the other thing too is just out of sheer spite, I want to get mine launched. Like I want to have enough backers to launch, just to rub it in Beatty's face. That would be
yeah,
great.
of course, yeah. You don't want to run into that same situation as him. So
Nah.
Mr. Square Peg's there. Jeff Whitty's coming in. Were you here with Jeff?
Hey Jeff.
Were you here
Yeah.
before?
No. No.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, dude? What's up, Mr. Korea?
Hey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
What's going on?
just
I've got
getting
some.
everything all set up in here.
Yeah, I literally ran in here from, like I was telling Matt, I was watching Firestarter from '84 and with my daughters, and I actually think it's a pretty cool movie. Plus, it's actually filmed in Lake Lure and Chimney Rock, which we go to all the time. My folks have a house like off of Lake Lure, and so like I was like, oh, I was spotting stuff in the movie,
I
but
know that place.
yeah, and I was telling my daughters like that's called pyrokinesis. That's the ability she has. Like my nerdum came in.
Hmm.
You were like, this will be. I knew this would come in handy one day, and now it is. Jeff, it's daylight over there. It's funny. It's dark over here, and
Oh
it's.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
What
only
time is it there?
11 o'clock here, 11 a.m.
Oh, geez. Okay,
So
so
I'm
yeah,
We're going to try to keep it not 8 people like last Friday, which was a
mhm.
lot of people.
yeah.
Um, it was a lot, and so I've got some other people showing up. Some you may not know, some maybe you know. Should be exciting. There's a couple people, one person in particular that I've never met, and I want to meet them, and they've got something cool going on too. But Matt, yes, you've got your X Crawl Rodeo. It is on Backer Kit. I'll have a link down in the description. Here is Reid right here.
All
Reid
right.
San Filippo. I
Hey,
don't know if
Reid.
y'all have met him before. Have y'all met him?
Hey, Reid. I
Hey,
know about you.
hey,
I
Reid.
actually haven't met you.
Oh, okay.
See how this works? It's a beautiful thing.
No, your Umerica thing is really cool. So I'm excited to meet you actually because I actually know Jim Wappler too. He's been kind of a mentor, and I called him for things. So I don't want to speak badly of Jim, and I'm certainly not. But I like your stuff. So there's a strong. I don't want to be controversial at all. Some people like MCC, and some people like your stuff.
Yeah, when I was doing Crawling Under a Broken Moon, I think I had just finished issue 6, and I was at GaryCon, and I was at one of the DCC like before there was the DCC or the Goodman Games seminar thingy. What's it? He would just call everybody together to get together because there was
Right.
a few of us, that we were just like, hey, around 2 o'clock, show up here, and Goodman was actually always there, and I was at one of those, and Jim came up to me. And he's like, "Dude, I put in the final manuscript for MCC, so now I can finally read your stuff. You can't tell you how excited." I'm like, uh, "Okay," because this is the first time he and I talked, and he had
Right.
actually been avoiding me since he saw me at the conventions because he didn't want any sort of crossover with what he was trying
Right.
to do. So he and I have had a good relationship. And he and I both understand that we both prefer our own stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Jim's a great guy. Like I said, I'm not talking about him. I like your stuff a little better than Jim's, but I like Jim as a person, and he's been great to me. It's just, I hate to actually, but I'm honest. And
right.
I just like your stuff a little better. I think it's got a little more depth to it. I think MCC is a great game, and it's fun to play at cons, but I think it needs a lot more in character classes.
Ooh.
Ooh, I know.
I've got somebody else that just messaged me here. So
Oh, no.
sorry
Oh,
to interrupt.
I think it's like
No, I don't know. Just so I know, Jeff Whitty. I don't know if you've met Reid before or know about
Mm-hmm.
Reid. Jeff does art. He does stuff for Goodman Games, right?
Yep.
DCC. Yep.
Specifically, Honor Among Thieves. Their titles with DCC. I even got a few back here.
Cool.
That's awesome. I'm sending out another link, and like I said, I can't have 8 like last time. If it has to happen,
Understood.
if it happens, it happens. But so I
Yeah.
just sent a link that I'm excited for this person to show up, and hopefully it'll be exciting for y'all too.
Cool.
Well, it will have to go with who has the right hairstyle, I guess. After
Yeah.
it's like
We've got Reid beat.
Which
We're
one does
beating
not
you.
belong? Yeah.
You got 3 Baldos here. But
I can't wait.
As far as MC,
I had this, specifically, just to change things up a little bit,
There you
represent the Bears.
I look at it as like mint chocolate chip ice cream and a rocky road.
there you go.
Both of them are very flavorful. Both of them have very strong fan bases that have opinions on the other person's flavor. So some people like both. Some people are like mint is great, rocky road sucks. Some people are rocky road's great, mint sucks. That's kind of where it's at. They're both really good ice cream flavors. It's just a matter of which one you prefer, or do you like both?
oh yeah. Oh, Matt's here. Like Matt,
Ooh.
we're gonna have the conclave of Matt's showing up. So
Oh my God, we're about to have another person. We're gonna be at like max limit here in just a second. Here, let me bring Matt in.
It's quite all right, Brandon. I can drop off. I've got plenty of illustration work to do, and I love to just hang out.
Okay,
in
that's cool,
chat
bud.
while I'm drawing. So.
Whatever you'd like, man. Like I said, I don't want to have to kick anybody out for like, but like I thought about like maybe we say we flip people in, but it's completely up to you, man. You're always happy just to sit by and chill or whatever you'd like.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
So.
bud. Here we
Nobody
go.
wants to listen to an illustrator anyway.
Let's see how this looks. Let's do that. How's that? Do we like that, or do we like
I like
the? Do we like
that's
this?
great.
First one. There you go.
yeah, that's
There you
better.
Matt Gullet. Nice to meet you. I'm Brandon. Nice to meet
Matt.
It's a pleasure.
you. Awesome. And
Jeff, good to see
Fantastic.
you. Matt, what you up to, wild man?
Getting ready for LongCon.
There you go. Oh, Reid, it is so good to see you. How are you, Reid?
I am doing okay. Like I've mentioned before, I have a forever chronic illness. It's never going to go away, but I'm stable, which means that I'm, unless stable stops, I still run. You know what I mean? It's the train's doing the best it can. So I'm just going to ride it out as long as I can,
Well, man, it's good to see you, and I'm glad you're, doing as well as you are, man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely good. And I was so happy to meet last Friday to meet Reid because so one of the be those things about. Oh, here we go. Here we got one.
Brandon.
I see somebody who highly admire.
I said X-Crawl twice, and Brandon showed up. This really works.
A wild beast mode has appeared.
This is awesome. I got to tell you, you can hear us, right, Brandon? You're good, or Brendan?
Brendan. Yeah.
Brendan. We already went through that.
Yeah.
I actually say Brandon.
Man, I can't believe I get to see Brendan again.
Oh, we can't hear him. Can you hear him?
Okay, so hold on a second. That means that we all need to refresh because if I remember correctly, once you go past 5 people in this system, then all of a sudden, all of us some of us will not be able to hear the sound unless we do a refresh on the browser.
Okay.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
I hate that happens. It's nothing I can do much about it, but this is great though. I'm so glad that everybody's been able to join here, and we're gonna be. Oh, I don't know if I need to jump out too. You stay in. I gotta wait for other people to jump out so I can jump back in. You can hear me though, right? Okay. Yeah, I can hear everybody. Here, let me bring everybody in.
All right.
I actually had a problem with Brendan whenever I did my interview with him, so it could be something else that we had to kind of figure out. We're all moving around though.
My sound is dead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but if you look at the icon at the bottom, my sound is dead. You turned me off.
What? It's weird.
Your control at the bottom, see?
Oh.
Hey guys, I can bow out, so it's not a problem. Maybe it'll help out. So
I really want to just pop on and say hi. It's like the end of
There's
the
weird
longest
over
day
there.
of my life.
Okay.
Well, I can hear Brendan now.
Yeah, we can hear him. Okay.
What's up, Matt? What's up, Matt? What's up,
How are
Reid?
you?
Hey, how are you, man?
Oh
This
man,
is awesome.
crazy.
Yeah.
You want to see what I got today? You ready?
Yeah.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Wait for it. Wait for it. Dun, dun, dun,
Oh, we can't see that.
dun.
Oh my.
4.
Oh my.
4 shots.
Yeah.
So you got something going on?
I mean, I went down there and she's like, "Oh, while you're here, do you want to go? I want to get my flu shot." And she's
Okay.
like, "Oh, we got all these other boosters here." I was like, "Yeah, go for it." Because I'm an idiot. Did I mention that I'm an idiot?
Yeah.
I was a piebald idiot. And then
There
my
was a-
day spiraled out of control. So I'm usually I'm in bed for an hour by now, which is why I never pop on here. But I happen to be up, so I thought I would just jump in and say hey to everybody. What's going on?
See,
Yeah,
Matt?
we
What's
got
going on,
ours like.
Hey, you're lucky you're not local, or I'd have to frog you in the arm. Yeah.
Oh, we'd be, you might be okay tonight, but tomorrow, I don't know. Round 2.
Where's
Yeah,
Reid?
wow,
Have I missed Reid?
Like,
No,
we're so
he
bad.
jumped out.
People
Yeah.
just
I don't
come
know
and
where
gone.
I think
And,
Reid's coming back.
He just jumped
there's
back
Reid.
in.
okay.
There he is.
I'm trying
Listen,
to
I really
like.
just want to say hello and say hi to all your viewers. And if you're watching Brendan's show, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button so we can keep sending you all kinds of groovy stuff.
That's right. That's right. Because we're talking about DCC, we're talking about X-Crawl, we're talking about all sorts of stuff like that when we do these. So we're kind of keeping it in-house, you know.
Hey, everybody! Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
Reid, how you doing?
Yeah, I can hear you, Reid.
Because I'm not showing. If you look at the taskbar at the bottom, I'm showing without a blue name, and I'm showing with my sound icon off.
Oh, that's weird because we see your sound icon. I see your sound icon moving.
Right, but I also have no video feed into you, but you can see my video feed at the bottom, so it's obvious you can see me.
Yeah.
I even switched microphones so that just in case it was a bad mic, I pulled up my real mic.
No, you were sounding fine. You're sounding good now too. I don't know. It's still growing pains with this thing, you know.
Yeah.
I think definitely the more people we have, the more it starts messing up. Which I didn't know that, which is disappointing. But
Sorry, guys.
no, it's all good, man. It's all good. We can see it, but you can hear us. You can't see us.
I can see you. I can hear you just fine. It's just when I'm looking at the preview, I'm showing up with a gray screen. Like my camera's not working.
Let me see what it's showing on the YouTubes.
I see all of us there.
I see him on YouTube.
Weird.
We're all there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Listen, I'm out. I just want to say hello. Y'all be well. Take care.
All right,
Brendan, take care,
Thanks,
buddy.
Brendan. Take it easy,
Thank you,
bud.
Brandon.
Good to see you.
Thanks for bringing
See you
back.
guys.
So here we go. So that's how it goes. You never know who's going to show up. I got more people that this has been exciting, and it's been more and more people that hopefully can get on. I've got some people that have messaged me, and I've not been able to even message them back to tell them, wait a second. Like I'm dealing with a whole bunch of other stuff here. I feel like I need more arms, but we're going to get to everything. So we talked a little bit about Matt with his X-Crawl rodeo. We're going to talk about, Matt D'Amico, and then we've got Matt, and he's got a new adventure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna hear about that as well.
Oh, cool.
And,
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You go ahead and just tell us who you are, and because I've never met you, but now we're buddies, and we're all buddies.
Yeah, absolutely. Best friends. I've been wanting to come on for the longest time, but it seems either I was at work and I work crazy hours, or me and the wife had plans or something. I was like, So glad to finally get on here. So me and my good friend Eddie Bartlett, we do the long con, and we are used to do Die Hard Road Crew guys for DCC. We've been fans, early adopters. Eddie's he wrote a couple of really phenomenal adventures for DCC, etc. His last one was actually compliant with DCC, Reid's Baby, American, his game, and Umerica, and MCC, etc. Really great adventure. And I, a few years ago, did Caverns of the Dead God. But the new baby is the Malefic Manor of Count Grigorovich. And so it's a haunted house, or is it, and that's one that I wrote that way back in like 2013, and I've ran it in various different systems and tweaked it through the years, and I've gotten really good reactions from that one. Oh, thank you. There you go.
There you go.
Big on right there, representing.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I'm hoping to, kickstart that right before LongCon, and if you like caverns, it's more the same. I've got a really good artist guy, Brian Walker, really great guy, and he and I worked out a really interesting deal. But anyway, really excited about his artwork. I think y'all will really like it.
And is it just going to be released? I'm sorry if I'm a little bit behind. I'm just trying to do so many things.
Sure, no, it's all good.
Is it going to be like a Kickstarter backer kit just going to be released? What is the plan for it?
It's going to be Kickstarter, and much like with caverns, everything's pretty much done. I mean, so that's the neat thing is it's not like I have to wait until I get funding to do this. I mean, the artwork's done. It's layout's done. I mean, it's it's ready to go. So that's the great thing.
Tell us a little bit about the adventure. Your
boom.
Oh.
Okay. So
you got it up there.
There it is.
It's sort of a Russo type field. The name's Grogorovich, and the town is Horstberg. Whatever. And you start out there, and there's a number of different ways to get the players involved with the manor. Oh wow, thank you. Yeah, I love that artwork. That was done by Rock.
Rock.
Yeah, ROCH.
I like that.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, and he did a great job with that. And he did that for me like a year ago when I was doing some early promo stuff then. But the interior work's going to be all Brian, and his artwork is just really good. I think he used to do work for Topps, like the card people artwork. He's a really good guy. But anyway, yeah, so you're in the village, and it's going to have the usual kind of like Caverns did. The town has some hench people that are available because old school, safety in numbers. You need a torchbearer, whatever. And then there's the obligatory, a bar there or whatever, and tavern rumors. There's a thing where you might be playing a game of poker and win the deed to the manor, and that gives you that impetus, to go. And it's got the classic rumor table, inside, so you can hear all kind of cool rumors about the manor. Some are true, some are false. That old D&D chestnut,
Definitely.
But yeah,
that's gonna be great. I'm excited to see it, and I'm happy to let people know about it. And if you have any links or anything you want me to put in the description, send people your way. That's what this is really all about, is just letting people know. And then you also tell us about the LongCon.
Sure. So Eddie and I have been friends for about 15 years, and God bless him, and we go to North Texas, which is a phenomenal con. Gary Oliver and Bad Mike, it's a great con they put on. Originally, Doug Ray, was a good friend of ours. That was his baby, but God rest his soul, he's passed on. But they've carried the torch, and it's just a phenomenal con. And we would come back every year and be like, man, that was so much fun. I wish we could hang out with a lot of these same people more than once a year. And so we're like, well, let's do a con. And that was LongCon. And we've purposely kept it small. Our max will ever be like 250. And part of it's because me and Eddie, we do the work. The last couple years, his wife and my wife have helped us. And we have some locals that are super helpful. And I don't want to mention names because I'll forget somebody and then I'll be a jerk or whatever. But it's a big help, labor of love, because we don't really ever make any money, but we both have a love of gaming, and it's just great to get to see people like Matt more than once a year, or any number of people that we know from North Texas. And it's wild. We have people that come from Austin, Shreveport and Bossier, Houston. I mean, one time we had people from Iowa or something.
I think you've even had a David Beatty before, if I'm not mistaken.
David Beatty's come a number of times.
Kind of a long-haired, kind of strange individual.
Yeah.
I've got Jeff Mejia's showed up too. Hello, Jeff.
All right.
Hey, guys.
So
two Jeffs, two Matts. It looks like we got two pair. That's
there we go.
Yeah, we got two Jeffs, two Matts. Now we need another Reid.
That's
Brendan
right.
left. That was very close. But This is Jeff Mejia. He's got Dicey Tales, his game. He's been clutch showing up to my drop in. So hate to interrupt that, but just so interrupt. And I want to think, I think I need to do too is like whenever someone shows up, we got to like pause and like, because also we'll have people just sitting there and it's like, who is this guy that showed up? But but he's very much into his comic spirit today with the comics in the back, comics on the shirt. He loves it. So, but no, I know, Matt, that David Beatty, I told him that you might be on. He was like, oh, he's a good guy. So
you know what? And I didn't pay him too much to say that. So
he does require a good bit.
Yeah.
But no, he said that.
Brandon, before we, I was waiting for Matt to finish, the long con spiel, but you were asking last week about Castle Game Skull.
Yeah.
You're talking to the person who currently owns it.
Oh, there you go.
Proud owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Matt, if you didn't see the last video, we talked about it, and I showed mine off, which was I got inspiration from seeing Reid's when I went to GaryCon, and I didn't have one at the time, but I found it in the store, and someone had actually split the back part up the back, like it split it in two pieces, so it folded out, and I was like, did they use this as a DM screen? But so you've got it now, Matt.
Yeah, and much thanks to you, Reid, and I know that's your baby, and I just love it and carefully transport it to cons. And when people come by and can I get a picture? And I always quick to mention this originally belonged to Reid San Filippo, and he made this, and
I don't know if you ever caught. I thought I'd sent you a message. Good, brain's just not working. What I used to do is I would wrap it up in a fabric towel, and then I would throw it into that box musical instrument that you sit on and hit like a drum. They make cases for those, and they're perfect for 14-inch box games. That's why I had one. And then I realized if I just wrapped that up in a blanket and threw it in there, it was a perfect size for carrying around the convention. So you might want to try that out.
Yeah, thanks for the tip, amigo. But yeah, I had seen Reid's online, and I went out and bought a couple of rather battered old Castle Grayskulls from the internet. And Eddie, my friend, knew that and I'd reached out to Reid, and Reid's just awesome. I can't say enough good things about Reid. Love his games, and he was super accessible and sent me pictures of how he had done his, and I was working towards trying to replicate that. And then Eddie surprised me. There's a video somewhere on YouTube of me being a dork, opening the box and geeking really hard on. I was blown away. I didn't know that Reid had parted with it, but you better believe I cherish it. And yeah.
That's a great story. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, because I can't go to conventions anymore, I thought it was time to pass on my big metal hat and my Castle Game Skull so that they could continue to go to conventions and be, just enjoyed versus just sitting there gathering dust on my shelf,
Sure. We know that, I take it to North Texas. It's at LongCon. I took it to T-Fest this year. I don't think I was able to take it to Dungeon Con last year, but anyway.
Have you taken it on you taking it on an airplane?
Yeah, now see, that would be the thing. I guess now that Reid gave me that great tip, who knows? Yeah, I'll get that case you were talking about.
Yeah,
that's cool. No, that's really because I thought about that. I was like, man, that thing's kind of a lot to carry around. Like it's not very. It's got its handle, but it's still not.
Yeah. Oh no, I covered it. I'll tell you, I've been putting in bubble wrap, and then I found a cardboard box that once it's bubble wrapped, it fits in there pretty well. And I always secure it very carefully in the old Blue Bomber in my truck. But,
yeah,
fantastic. Jeff, what you got?
Yeah, actually, I just want to hear more about Matt's adventure.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
I just didn't want to forget that because we go off on tangents,
Yeah, we do.
Sorry
to
interrupt.
I've never been known to go off on a tangent. Let's circle back. But no, but thank you for that, Jeff. So it's like a haunted house. It's like I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to ruin the surprises. But the count, and in the beginning, setting up the scene, the Count had made dark pacts with chaotic evil forces of entropy or whatever, and the land was rich and the crops were plenty, and for all around, Horseburg was the envy, of all these other nearby territories, until of course the day at the harvest, festival where they're having the revels at the manor, all the local hoi polloi and whatever. And of course, because the count had descended into such evil, there was debauchery and unspeakable things that night. Well, right at the apex, that of the celebration, the curse fell upon the manor. And so there's like, I leaned into like things like gluttony, and there might be an encounter based off that, and then other things. And there's like the manor had a ballroom, and that's actually one of the most, I don't want to give anything away, but it's like one of the most lethal potential encounters is in the ballroom. And of course, okay, there's like the obligatory evil cult has taken residence in one part of the manor, and there's some other things, and there's actually factions that play off each other, and so yeah, and the count's still there, wink wink, but yeah, thank you. So there's puzzles and riddles, and some people don't like riddles, so there's not a lot, but there's definitely an underlying puzzle in the adventure. And one reason why Eddie always loved this adventure, and the way I wrote it, was I like an old school thinking man's adventure. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, not to sound like that old fart, it's these kids nowadays, but they're over here on their phone waiting for their turn to roll the dice and attack the monster or something. If you're not paying attention, you're going to miss out on like this good treasure that's hidden. And I've got little hints and tips and spread all through the adventure. And so Eddie loved that back when I ran it for him back in 2013, 14, that when the time came for you to kind of figure this thing out, he's like, I know you need to set the thing for this and and unlocked all the treasure because he had been paying attention, and not playing on his phone or something. So anyway, yeah, shades of that.
There was a video, and one of my buddies gave it to me, about haunted houses and mysteries and stuff like that, how to do it for role playing. And he had like certain things you don't want to forget, because honestly, I was one of those guys, right? I get up, I'll go in the kitchen, I'll say, hey, you guys call me when you guys figure it out, and I'll go make a sandwich, because it's not my thing, right?
Sure, yeah.
And then when you find yourself writing for your own product, you're like, oh hell, now what do I do? Because some people like this, some people don't. But one of the things that I took away from that, the video that I saw, was that, of course, there's the mechanical way, the puzzling way, but give them a simple way too. Just give them, especially if you see that the mechanical way is taking 25, 27, 35 minutes, and people are just rolling dice and fiddling around. Don't give them an easy out, but have that other way ready.
Sure.
So it's definitely a good way to go about it. I've seen some adventures that were like completely deadlocked. Like if you don't get this, then you're done. Like you're gonna have players that get frustrated so quickly. I've seen players and I'm like, just listen to what I'm saying to you. Like listen, and they cannot. They'll get so frustrated. I've literally had dudes playing like Call of Cthulhu. He got so frustrated that he just kicked the door down and he took a shotgun blast to the stomach. The guy told him behind there, like, don't come in my house, but he just couldn't figure out exactly what he was supposed to do. Frustration and time and stuff, it'll show up on the table. That's for sure. You can see him floundering.
Well, there's not anything that you can accomplish if this is that party that's oblivious. You'll still play the adventure, have a lot of fun. You're not kept. It's not like, that one part of the manor is locked behind. You have to answer the riddle. Or no. It's just like there's some really cool treasure at the end that could be found if you've been. But like even Eddie and I were talking about, he said, "Man, you hammered us over the head with the clues to that thing." And I said, "Well, I read that once on." I go to a lot of GM and gaming forums and try to always better my skills. 40 years of game mastering, but I'm always trying to, further my skills. And it said, no offense to your typical player, but you have to beat them over the head. Yeah. And so, all throughout the manor, almost nearly every encounter, there's a little clue there. So, at the end, players will pat themselves on the back like, we figured it out. And I'm like, well, if you didn't, I would have been worried, but
yeah,
right.
question you a little bit, but
Now, what
we found,
genre is this?
And Matt, is it written DCC and then what time period?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So it's written for DCC, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then what time period? It's for the castle. It kind of almost gave me like a early 1900s vibe, but I'm assuming since while you're talking, it's more medieval times.
Yeah, basically, yeah, medieval times.
Okay.
Your typical party would be absolutely appropriate, But yeah, I will say it does give off more of a vibe of that era. But we're having
Could you do a Winchester Mystery House kind of thing? Could you do like a Winchester Mystery House?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would open it up for you a little bit more, as like, of course, yes, this is the default era. However, here's a few things you could do if you guys are into the 1800s or, 1940s, whatever.
Yeah, there's so many different
right?
Rules and genres for DCC. If someone wanted to base it in more of a Victorian era, I think you could pull it off. Absolutely.
Like that Transylvanian Adventures or something. Wasn't that like one of the early products for DCC? That was what it was called?
Yep.
And,
right, but something happened and they weren't able to complete what they wanted to do with it.
And the Weird West one you guys got, the DCC has out.
The Weird Frontiers?
The Weird Frontiers, yeah.
Yeah, you could totally say your parties traveled to Europe from the Old West, and actually, that's.
I'm just totally cool. That as a publisher, right? On the other hand, open your base to more, right?
Yeah. Even just sentencing, even like I've seen some that say like, "Hey, you could use this for." A lot of times it's a Weird Frontiers adventure, but they say you could use it for DCC, and it's obviously you can go back the opposite way with that. I mean, it's always kind of the same thing. I always say that about some stuff like cowboys and like ninjas and stuff and pirates. It's always about someone that has power, and they usually are doing something kind of for the good, but of course not with pirates so much. But they're using like lawlessness or their strength to take something, to find something, do something, and they're all kind of doing the same thing. I think that's why it's all cool throughout time. So even if you just had a little blurb or a little a box that said, "Hey, look, you could use this with this game," even if you didn't want to get into the actual like stats or stuff, just say, "Hey, this could work well with this game. You could work well with that, or set it in this period," and then just change it however. Because a lot of the people obviously have crossover games. They'll probably have Weird Frontiers or one of the games that has guns, and then you've got your Weird Frontiers.
One of the things I used to love from the older games was, like, if you guys remember, where Mercenary Spies and Private Eyes was also usable with espionage, was also usable with, they had conversions in the back of the book.
Right.
Not that you have to do conversions, but, like
they did do a lot of those
blurbs on the back that say, "Hey, if you like Weird Frontiers, we'll show you how to slot this in there."
I think Gamma World had that. They had like Boot Hill. They were like, if you want to use it with Boot Hill, I think I saw something like that.
In the original, I believe, I could be wrong. I believe in the original AD&D Dungeon Master's Guide, it had conversion rules for all the other properties that TSR was, had their fingers in, so that you could convert to Boot Hill, you could convert to Gamma World, and back and forth. I don't know that I remember the conversions not being the greatest,
right?
But it was there and accessible. So the concept of going from one of a company's lines to another of their lines with an adventure was pretty prevalent even back in those days. So I don't think it's ever going to go away.
No.
Yeah, that was in the DMG, the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. They had the Boot Hill conversion and the Gamma World conversion. And we did crossovers as kids, and it was total wacky,
It is, but if you think about it, I mean, you're getting more content. Like you're getting getting more game, and like of course nowadays, not many companies are going to do something like that. They're going to want you to buy the whole thing.
There's significantly more game than there was back then, to be perfectly honest. So people were really thirsty for new stuff back then, which is why there's just as much kind of cruddy stuff as there is good stuff back in the old days, because everybody was so hungry for it. If you had anything of a slightly good idea, everyone was begging you to publish it. And not saying that there was a bunch of trash back then, but the quality control didn't even need to exist because of the fact that there was just such a thirst for it.
Yeah, there's Tim. Tim's talking in the thing. And hello, Tim. I'm doing horror at the Merc as my next video, and I've got it right here. So I thought maybe Tim if he wanted to show up, he could, but there it is. So I'm glad you're watching. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll like my video I do on that adventure, which has got some great art, some cool stuff in it. So I actually tried to do the video today, and this is one of the problems. I start doing a video, and then I think about where I am in the book as I'm doing it, because I don't know if y'all know about my videos, but I just go. Like, I just start talking. I try to remember, and I go. And then all of a sudden I go, hold on, I'm only like on page 4, and I look at the time, and it's like 17 minutes. And I'm like, ooh, this is not going the way I wanted to go. Like, it's going really well, but I'm like, I don't think it needs to be 17 minutes at page 4, So I have to kind of like really cliff notes it. I have to kind of like start.
Kind of greatest hits is the way I look at it. You could talk about the book, chapter by chapter, but really the best part is what really grabbed you. Do a greatest hits of it, and I think that's going to get across why you think it's amazing, and that's all you really need.
Yeah, you're right, and it's a thing like that. Like, I think about it, and I'm like, you know what? I really didn't need to describe that room. I needed to just kind of say what the rooms are kind of like. But he has a horror mechanic in that because it's a horror adventure, and great for this time. We've got a Halloween coming, and I was like, this will be cool. This will be a horror MCC adventure to tell people about, but like spotlight the horror aspect that he put in there. And then the adventure is really interesting in that I think when a lot of people think about like a horror, I think their minds tend to go towards certain places. And I think a lot of times, especially if you have science fiction or something, they're going to go to Alien. They immediately go to Alien. They're going to go, okay, there's a monster that's chasing you, and it's terrible. And so, but he didn't do that, and I think that's very interesting. I'll be talking about that in the video. He did more atmosphere, and that's what I always really like. And it is, and I think, and I'm going to stress, and you'll see that with the video, which I know y'all all watch probably 100 times each. But it's going to be it's about description. When you're talking about horror, you can't just say it's cold, it's dark. You got to do more. You know what I mean? I think you've got to describe more without going too crazy. You don't want to sit there forever and your players are just starting to, do a lot of this. Okay. He's still talking, but it's like you've got to get just really descriptive, tight, and try to really set that mood. And I'm looking forward to making the video. And I do that a bunch. I'll do a couple bad ones. And that's the thing. You do a couple bad ones and then you go, okay, well, I got the bad ones out. I know not what to do anymore. And then it goes better. So I'm glad that Tim's here. I hope to have him on here too. And I have met, I have tagged him when I do these. So hopefully he'll have some time. Nice module to review around how Halloween exactly, Tim. And I'd like to meet him. I've never met him. I've done videos on his stuff, and again, that's why I think I'm hoping people are, even though they don't get a whole bunch of views, if we're all enjoying it and we're telling our stuff, like Matt, we're going to talk more about X-Crawl Rodeo.
Oh yeah, no worries. I want to know more about Jeff's shirt. I'm like trying to not be like lean in and like look at his shirt. It's a cool shirt.
Which Jeff?
Oh, sorry, Jeff. Jeff. I know your shirt, but Jeff Mejia's shirt.
Yeah. This was a ad in a Marvel comic.
Yeah, it's I can't zoom in on my screen, but
hold on. Let me get him bigger. We'll spotlight him. Boom.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic Four, Avengers.
Fantastic Four, Defenders,
Invaders.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. That's
on sale now.
That's awesome.
35 cents.
I'm gonna throw out just a real quick question. We go around. Favorite X-Man, and let's see how many people pick Wolverine. Go ahead, Matt. Who's your favorite?
Micco or
yeah, sure. It don't matter. But y'all fight over it. You Matt DeMico.
Okay, Gambit. I do like Wolverine. So I like Gambit. Yeah.
Yes, I get mine out of the way too. It's Gambit. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Matt.
Colossus.
Nice.
It's a good choice too.
Jeff, I'm just going to go in clockwise from where I have you. What about you, Jeff?
I was going to say Colossus too, but now that Juggernaut has made X-Men appearances, I'm going to go with Juggernaut.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
All right, either of y'all two? Reid, you got one?
Yeah, I like Iceman.
Okay.
And I'm Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Wow. Nope. I'm sure everybody likes Wolverine, but
I do. I love Wolverine.
Wolverine.
I mean,
People like some other characters. Yeah.
I lost interest in Wolverine when they made Wolverine Hugh Jackman instead of Wolverine. Like, I was reading an article, and I can't remember. He was an English actor. They wanted to have him play Wolverine in the original idea of that movie. And I can't think of the guy's name. He was a great actor, but short, balding, hairy. And I'm like, he would have been a great Wolverine. I was reading this article just recently.
He was in Mario. He was in Mario. And he was also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's it. Yeah.
God, what's his name?
Joe May.
You're making me think of Puck from Alpha Flight when you were saying that.
Yeah.
Little hairy guy.
They talk about that guy he was a great actor, but he had explosive, temper. At least the characters he played, he really could portray like that flip of a switch, just intensity of Wolverine.
British,
and
Are you talking about when you say Mario? What movie are you? Yeah, Bob Hoskins. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Bob
that's
Hoskins.
Yeah, Stefan asked the same thing here.
Chris Claremont was quoted, I think, wasn't it, Matt, as saying that that was who he wanted to be, his Wolverine.
Right. And I think that originally that's the Wolverine we grew up with, and then it kind of turned into Hugh Jackman. And Hugh Jackman's a great actor. I'm not hating on Wolverine. I just kind of I like the old gritty cigar. He's got stuff. He's just kind of dirty and nasty, and I don't know. I just kind of like that character better. It's like the Punisher.
The movies only had to have certain moments where he could be like that, and then they just kind of stopped doing that because they'd already done that. So you knew that he was like that, but he needed to move the story on. So let's not do that. But for me, it'll always be Gambit, and the reason I tell that is, for starters, I love it's several things. It's very easy. Okay, he's extremely rich. He has a power, I believe, that is somewhat feasible when you talk about X-Men mutant powers. His is somewhat feasible. Like, he touches something and, charges the particles of it. And of course, his fighting ability is very good. What is he, like, head over a thieves, like, huge guild type thing, organization? Mm-hmm. And then he's one of the only X-Men that likes the ladies quite openly. And so, and he's going over, trying to get, what's her name? Of course, my brain is Rogue. And she's Rogue. I mean, his direction sense of what he's about is very strong. Rogue, money, very, very cool power, and he's a character. I love when they're like, "You're so strong, we have to like numb you down. We have to do something to you because you were so strong." I don't know if y'all know the history of Gambit, the wide history of it, but and plus he's got that cool Louisiana, that Cajun type of. I don't know. He's great. I love it. Yeah. So.
Cajun.
Cajun. Yeah, I dig him, and I say that to people. They think I'm joking, and I'm like, no, he's really freaking cool. He's got cards and stuff. But I like cool things like that. Anything else? I want to make sure everybody gets their spotlight of anything they want to talk about. Matt, we got more people here. So X-Crawl Rodeo, he's got a backer kit, and backer kit is funny. David Beatty found that out, and we all had a good laugh. In fact, that you have to have people that are, is it interested in it? Is that what it says, Matt?
Yeah. So Backer Kit, I don't know if you guys have run a project on there yet. I know, well, obviously, Matt, you were part of Dungeon Dwelling Creatures. When you start a project on Backer Kit, it asks you how much your funding level is and then how much your normal pledge is going to be. So it's, the cost of your book. And then it figures in its head how many followers or you need to fund. And if you don't have that many followers, it doesn't fund. I guess there's a way to force it through now. But I mean, I would love to get to 200 followers or 220 or whatever I need to get to. It doesn't mean you have to buy my stuff. It doesn't mean, but I can tell you that you'll get I think we've got some really cool art. We've got some really cool stuff planned for that. I'm hoping to announce some cool stretch goals for it. Yeah, if it's just a wacky creation, if you like X-Crawl and you like the zaniness of X-Crawl, rodeo is one of the wildest sports, and so we combined that. We did a lot of testing on it. Jeff, I know we have Jeff Mejia. I know you and Bert are good friends. He has helped me test the snot out of this thing, so we've got the mechanics set down. So it's crazy X-Crawl where what if the monsters and the rodeo stuff, everybody was a star. So your bulls are actually minotaurs, and everybody's a star. It's not just the rodeo guys, jumping on the animals. The animals are part of the show, and the animals are competing against the riders and the PCs, and they're all famous. So even the barrels in barrel racing are mimics, if you draw that card. So everything is randomly rolled. It's a lot of fun. So we have barrels, like for the barrel racing, I'll just say that because this was previewed at Crawl for the Cure, but we had the mimics. We gave them one monster, and that was mimics. So all the barrels were mimics. So when the riders are riding by that barrel, they thump that barrel, and all of a sudden the mimic comes to life and grabs a hold of them, and it's a different kind of rodeo. And then we've got a couple of things you can do. One of the barrels is a golem, so it comes to life, and it's a barrel golem. One of them has goblins hid in them, so they jump out and attack with whips. So I know you previewed it, Brandon, but we kept layering it, so it's fun. It's a lot like if X-Crawl, Rodeo, and Blood Bowl met, because all the conditions are rollable. So I love Blood Bowl. I think it's so much fun to roll what the crowd's doing, what the arena's doing, what are the
weather,
the ground. So with rodeo, everybody, especially the barrel racers, which are mainly girls, they always complain about the dirt. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to give them their wish. It's so they roll for the dirt, and it's sometimes it's wet, sometimes it's this, and it all has different things. So it was something that I got into as a donation for Crawl for the Cure, and the more I got into it, Brendan, obviously, I reached out to him and talked to him about X-Crawl Baseball, and then X-Crawl Rodeo, and he was a big supporter of whatever I wanted to do. So yeah, I just jumped on board with it. So yeah, just follow the project, click the like button, and give it a shot. I think we'll have PDFs for 10. And the adventure print on demand will start at 15. That's the way I say print on demand is you get the coupon, and then you have to pay your shipping.
$2, $2 or $3. Yeah. I think that's the most I've ever paid.
By the time you're done, you usually pay about $20 for it, which is as cheap as I can get it, folks. I mean, I guys are like, oh, it's $20. I'm like, wow. You're going and paying $30 now at some places.
No, you're right. It's at cost print on demand is the term that drivethrurpg uses. I use it for my own Kickstarters, and Bert and I talk on a regular basis, so I'm very well. I know quite a bit about the whole back end of the backer kit at this point.
Yeah.
As a difference, what's the difference between Kickstarter and backer kit is that backer kit requires you to advertise and get a certain number of people in the Remind Me category before they'll allow you to start it. Because unlike Kickstarter, which just says, hey, do what you want, we don't really care. Backer Kit actually invests in every single project that goes live. So they set a minimum bar for you to be able to start a project, because otherwise it's not worth it to them to invest money into it.
Right.
That makes sense.
So how much money, I don't know, but it's more than zero. And it's basically, it's their broadcast stuff that they do. I can kind of see where it's at, because they don't want to invest in something that gets 5 people interested in it.
Right.
But I also got the full earful on the back end of how David was just fighting to get enough. And yeah, it's frustrating because it's different, and people didn't realize what it was. So,
and he funded in 4 hours. So it was all So I was giving it to him hardcore because he couldn't get it off the ground, and then he funded it in like 4 hours. I was like sitting there like,
the system is designed for all projects,
right?
And the algorithm is still relatively new, so it needs to unfortunately pull from other crowdfunding things to determine whether someone is an A rank or an F rank or an A rank project person.
Right.
Because if they're A rank, they probably don't need to go through the vetting process. But if they can't find anything, if their bots can't scrub and find you and say, oh, well, this person's done a bunch of stuff, then you need to have 200 people say you might be interested before they'll let you touch it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they want legit creators like that have already done stuff.
Well, a funny story is when I put all my stuff in, they didn't believe I am who I am. So I was just like, I had put in. You have to put it like they're legit. You have to put in your ID, then you have to scan a picture of yourself.
Yep.
Put it in, and they were like, "Oh, that's not you," and they failed me. And I was like, "Really?" So literally, I waited a day, and they said, "Well, they'll get back to me." And I didn't hear anything, and then I typed a very nice email like, "I am this person. You've confirmed my bank account. Can I get approved?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll go through it." So she did, and they approved me.
Well, automated system versus human, you have to remember that not everybody is spending bazillions of dollars on their AI.
Yeah, it was pretty funny though, because I'm like, I've got some credentials that say that I have some security clearances and everything else. So
it should be pretty easy to find out who you are.
I was just like, I guess I'm not me, and I'm like, I'll let my wife know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
how can I use that? How can I use this to my benefit?
Yeah, I'm like,
you don't know what you have no idea what they're bouncing those credentials off of, though.
Oh no, I wasn't mad. It was just more like, okay, I'll send them an email. And the backer kit, which it's my first time using it, and I know I'm not an A-list where I'm gonna fund in hours, so I know that my stuff is funded twice and then not funded once. So I'm still fairly new at this game, so I'm not worried about any of that. But they did get back to me super quick, where Kickstarter can be a week or something back. Backer kit got back with me probably within an hour, and they had it fixed within like minutes after that. So it was really, I was like, oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, their back-end system is much more complex, has a lot of automated checks and balances that aren't perfectly balanced yet. But they also give a crud, so if you reach out to them with a legitimate concern, they want you to succeed because they somehow have realized that if they help a creator get their project going and the project makes money, they make money.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, they were great. It's just it was more fun that like I said, I was thinking I can use this to my advantage. I'm no longer so.
Yeah. How is their cut compared to like Kickstarter?
About the same.
It's the same.
And you get all that. But I mean, I understand there's more work on the front end, but like if you get all that support and you can feel a little bit more of that closer connection with somebody that's working with you. I mean, I made a T-shirt on a website one time, and this lady called me out of the blue, and she was like, actually the shirt was for Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea back when it was called that. I had asked Jeff if I could make a T-shirt, and he said, if it's just for you, sure. And so I made the T-shirt, and then like a couple days later, I got a phone call out of nowhere, and they were like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and like, we don't know if this is going to really look good. And I was really blown away. I was like, wow, that's really nice of y'all. They're like, we're going to try to do a couple little tweaks to it. We just want to cover it, with you and see. And I was like, I'm buying one shirt from y'all, and y'all pump out like thousands of shirts a day. But it made an impression, So
we are shocked by anymore about good service. We're so used to mediocre or bad service or putting up with service. When you get somebody that really does their job well, you're almost like, what's going on?
When the fleeting luck tokens became like the thing, and everybody was trying to bring them to conventions, I decided I was going to have for the America events that were being run that year. I think I had like 4 game masters that were, I paid their way, and they were running crap loads of games for me. So that Gen Con, there was like 25 America games going on. I wanted to have fleeting luck tokens, so I reached out to Chip Lab, and I had put a QR code on the back. And they called me back like within 24 hours of me submitting it and said, hey, we did a sample print, and most of our phones can't pick it up because it's too small. Try increasing it and they gave me a numerical amount to increase it by, and then sent it back to us so that we can make sure that everybody's phone in the office could pick it up. I'm like, everybody's phone in the office. It's like this just wasn't one person. They took the chip around and had everybody check it just to make sure the QR code worked. I'm like,
That's nice.
So I can't say enough about if you're looking to get those either composites or full clay poker chips for whatever reason for your games. Chip Lab.
Chip Lab.
Yeah, Chip Lab.
Chip Lab. That's who we use for our long con tokens that we use for luck and stuff. And I think I got that tip from Reid years ago. And no, Chip Lab they're great.
Yep.
That's good to know. And I think I've said this to people too. I think that social media, websites, Facebook, and things like that, reviews, that has been a positive thing on social media. I mean, they know that bad service or something now. It's a very easy. There's no more. Let me see your manager. You can do that, but that's not going to get you very far, and you're going to be laughed at. You can call somebody, and that's not going to go very far probably. But now they know that you could very quickly have something on their hands that kind of spirals away from them that they can't control. And I've said that. I said social media has been good for businesses to be somewhat held accountable a little bit more. So you may actually see a little bit better service at your restaurant, at a store, because they know that, hey, look, I had a bad experience. This guy has an avenue now that other people, we don't know. Like there's things, even though my channel's fairly small, like there's things that like, hey, I don't think people would want to know that. Like their company wouldn't want to know that. If somebody did something to me, I'd be like, oh, I've got an avenue now. And I don't think people really had that. This is not like I'm putting you on the news. Like I'm going to my local news to tell people I'm putting you on the news. It's not like that anymore, but that's good to know. And then of course, like I've said, I will have links to anything that you guys want. After this, I'll put them in the description. So for like the backer kit that Matt D'Amico is talking about, Matt, if you've got something, that you want to, that you need to let people know about, and for, like I said, for everybody, I know that Jeff is working on Dicey Tales Adventures #2, right? Yeah. He's going to give us #2. That's cool. And Jeff, we need to have different names. Jeff, he
can be real Jeff.
Yeah. What you got? I mean, I know we probably said it, but some people may only be showing up to this one. What you got?
I know we got something coming up for Gaming Honors. Hayden Hodge is writing an adventure, a DCC adventure. So you'll see more of my stuff on that. Right now, I'm currently doing a lot of spot illustration for Tales from Elsewhere, RPG. And I actually just got picked up by Dark Space, the Shadow Dark sci-fi group. They're getting ready to do another Kickstarter.
Cool.
And they asked me to do some illustration with them too. So I was talking to Thad.
Congrats.
So I'll be doing stuff for them too. So
that's
awesome.
Great.
Going everywhere.
They're doing a 200-page book. I saw that today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I'm finally going to get to play that game, hopefully at LongCon. I signed up for, I can't think of his name right now. Ramsey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ramsey Williams.
Ramsey's game. And
that man
fantastic.
Loves Shadow Dark.
Yeah, fantastic GM.
Great. That's
one of the better GMs I've ever played with.
Then
I should be in that big book there. So, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's it's a 200-page book. I'm excited about it. It's and I'm even more excited now that because I've seen a preview of some art. I don't know if I've seen your excitement on it, but it's a cool book. I jumped on the little one that they put out, and then I don't know if the other one was a backer kit or a thing.
I believe it was a Kickstarter. Don't quote me on that though.
Yeah, it might have been Kickstarter. And then I'm excited to see your stuff in it. It's I've read it. I think it's cool. Like stuff I read that I'm like, oh, well, okay. And then other stuff I'm like, oh, then I'm excited to go play this.
And this is another thing about this whole drop-in thing, which I like the name. I don't know about y'all. I think RPG drop-in works. It makes sense because we had like Brandon. I've heard people tell me they didn't like it. I've heard people say they didn't like it. That's just a whole other story. But this is a good way because like Jeff is an artist and like Matt, both Matts, you may need an artist, and Reid might need it, Jeff. And so it's like, why not? Let's let people get to talking to each other. Maybe they can, come up with something that, they can work with on a future project or something like that. And then in that Shadow Dark space, again, so I'm watching the Dark Forest Kickstarter, and I'm doing the proofreading on that. And as it keeps going up, it keeps adding stuff to it. So I'm like, ooh, this is going to be a big project. Like it's getting more and more and more and more. And
the networking facet of it too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they're really trying to add a ton of art to that Dark Space project. So I was really honored that Thad reached out to me, and he was like, "Hey, can you make some bandwidth for me?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I just want to get my work out everywhere. Everybody inspires me, so I want to contribute back. So
I think that's the way to do it. That's why this Dark Forest, like I've done other games, but it was like I'll take a look at this, and I reached out to him about doing a video, and then I said, hey, do you want me? It's like I normally do. I see so many products, and I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, do you want me to look through this for problems, and they'll be like, yeah, and then they'll be like, well, hey, you do this, can you do it? Can I pay you? And I was like, yeah, let's figure something out, because I see so many, and it's like I start seeing some issues here and there. I just have a mind for it, where I start looking. Now, no Bert's level, but
and speaking of illustration, I hate to like talk and run or whatever, but
you're good.
I definitely got to get back to working on that Tales.
Yeah, because it is South Korea for you. Still.
Yeah, it's daytime, and so I need to be working.
And it's what, Saturday, right?
Hey, it's nice seeing everybody though. So
yeah, nice
to
see you, Jeff.
Thanks for having me on again.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Yeah,
great to see all you guys. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and bow out. So
okay, bud. Have a good weekend.
Yep.
All right, take it easy.
Oh, that's what's cool. He's in South Korea, and now we're talking, and people and you get to know him. It's like, I don't know. It's fun. Hopefully more people will get clued in that I'm doing these, and maybe I need a new thumbnail. If y'all have any suggestions or what I need to do, because my problem is I can't. If I do a thumbnail, it just looks like a whole bunch of people, and they don't really know who they are. But I try to put the names up there just to get it seen by more people. Because I'll be honest, like a lot of people, sometimes they don't like live streams, they don't like interviews. It's really difficult to find out what's going on with YouTube. There's a lot of videos out there trying to explain it. And I just these are not monetized videos. I do have monetized videos, and I have affiliate link stuff. Like I say that in the video, like Tim's stuff. And I say that. I got that from my affiliate link. People that watch my videos, I get a little cut of that, and then I buy I buy products so that I can do more videos. And so it's like, it's difficult with YouTube. YouTube's very particular, especially right now with what's going on with the role-playing game scene. When it comes to YouTube videos, I know a lot of people have stopped making YouTube videos that used to for the role-playing game community, because it's just, you're either one of the big ones or you're not, and people feel like they're just not making any real headwind,
Right.
Have you thought of what type of role-playing game community do you want to belong to? Like, do you want to be on the creator side, or do you want to be on the player side? Because to me, this looks like a kind of like a creator type thing.
For these I do, because I tend to do y'all's products. You know what I'm saying? Like I tend to do these products that are all kind of in this family. And I kind of started with Goodman Games product, like get a little bit out there, even though I started with like really the Mutant Epoch, but with like talking to Dave and Colonel of the Dam, talking about that stuff, working on Weird Frontiers. And then just some of my earliest videos are DCC stuff. I did Stephen Newton's Attack of the Frogs and stuff. So it was like, that was way back then. It's so amazing how it's so far now. And so it's like, I want people to be able to see these creators talking about their products, because I do consider myself a little bit of a hype man for our community. So it would be OSR, mainly independent role-playing games, the smaller guy. There's plenty of people doing those big guys out there. And it's a thing where I think if you want a big channel, you either have to have some just incredible like ideas to help people run their game, or you have to be hitting the real big books or the very artistic OSR games that are Exalted Funerals library, and that's it. Where you're just like, look at this gorgeous book that is going to look amazing on your shelf, and this will probably be the only book you ever see of it. They're not going to make anything else of it. It's just going to be this one fancy looking book, and then we'll move on to another fancy looking book. So I don't know. I mean, I do this just for y'all and for the family, for the people to watch, and hopefully they'll enjoy it and get to talk more about these products. I guess because that's the thing. I do videos on people's products to let people know about them, because they may not know about their products. the ones that I do. So it's like, well, why not do something where you guys can say, hey, I've got this coming, and let's talk and let's kind of network. And what do you have happening? And you got LongCon. Tell us about that. I've never been there. I've heard nothing but good things about it. In fact,
Thank
David
you.
Beatty, he said to me, I've got a little bit of conversion. He had to make a Walmart run. He said that they were the first convention ever asked me to be a guest. So thank you very much
Same
from
with
David
me.
Beatty. Yeah, he said that was the first one to be a.
Yeah, we begged Reid. We were like, please, we'll fly you out. We'll put you up. We'll feed you, you know. But Reid's like, man, you know.
Well, see, just to you, I mean, I think I explained it before, but you know, when I was really starting to push the America stuff, I was draining my PTO account at work every year with conventions. So I literally didn't have any more time. I didn't have time off to leave the state and visit family for a couple of years. So, you know, I'm like, it wasn't a matter of not wanting to go down
Sure.
to Texas. I mean, honestly, I tried to work it out because I have family in Garland, and I could have like, you know, gone there, you know, visit some family and then go on to the con when they annoyed me. You know, you know that whole like, oh, I'm going to visit you guys, but I'm really going to the con. But I tried, and so it was not a you guys weren't cool enough. I just did not have
Never took it that
PTO to do the travel and the con and the travel back and still make all these other conventions that Goodman was suggesting I go to.
Sure. It's funny. It was that when Eddie and I first started this, we were like, no special guest. And then on a goof, when I was road crewing and Brendan used to be over the road crew, he and I were messaging about something. And on a goof, I just said, hey man, you know, any chance you could come to the Long Con? And he said, well, I have to talk it over with the Dark Master. I thought, he's using that as a dodge. And then about a couple weeks later, he's like, well, it's official. I can come to Long Con. And I just was like, and I called Eddie. I said, are you sitting down? He goes, always, you know. And I said, Brendan LaSalle wants to come to our con. He's like, get out of here, you know. And so we got Brendan because I love Brendan's adventures. And then we played games with David Beatty at North Texas. And we were like, this guy's cool. We just love David. You know, he just had all shucks, you know, good old Carolina boy, you know. And so we said, hey, man, you want to come to our con? He's like, sure, you know. And yeah, that was.
He's like, I gotta have Fireball. You have a whole thing of Fireball waiting for me. And how are you with cats too, of course? But
well, yeah.
He is the cat daddy.
He is. Yeah, David Beatty and I met when he was play testing his Carnival of the Damned, and was running the. It was near the end of the play testing when he was doing the tournaments at conventions, and it wasn't long after that, because at that point, you know, we realized we were at the conventions all doing DCC related stuff, that he started talking about. At that time, it was you know, Dark Trails, and you know, because I was ahead of him in getting stuff published, he was asking, you know, hey, what did you do? How did you do it? And, you know, so we met at least once a con, had a you know, over a meal, we would discuss his plans, and he'd ask advice, and you know, sometimes he'd take it, sometimes he wouldn't, you know, because no, I mean, you got to get plenty of advisors. You don't take everybody's advice,
right?
And so I'm not surprised, you know, having a chance to get to know David. It's he's an amazing. He'd make a great special guest, you know, anywhere. So
yeah, he's a lovable guy, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. And what's funny is that now, and I think Matt, we can kind of attest to this. Like now, people go to him for you know, hey, how about your Kickstarter? Like, tell me. I mean, obviously his Kickstarter in our circles fairly well known,
right?
The situation that happened there, and the how to deal with that, you know, and getting his opinion. We've talked about this too, Matt, about how he does, and Bert's the same way too. You know, we've got some. You've got resources. You know, that's what it's all about. You've got resources out there. People with and they're accessible. These people, they're accessible people, and they may not be working for Wizard of the Coast, or they may not be working for this, but they're creative people, and they've dealt with some of these issues. And David's dealt with the issues, and he's come out on the other side, and he's only going to do better on the next Kickstarter, And I think it's going to be really nice for a lot of people too, and it's going to be kind of validation, not have the problems of the first one. You learn from it all, and I think that's what a lot of this is all about. It's just kind of communicating, kind of getting out of your, like, I've never met Matt before, but it's like, hey, come on my thing and let's talk, and let's kind of just talk about your stuff, and let's talk about whatever, and just have fun. I really do it for myself. I'm quite selfish, honestly. I just I like talking about the business,
Kickstarter scared the hell out of me.
What's that?
Kickstarter scared the hell out of me.
Oh yeah.
And
they will expose your fear.
Yeah, Bert was the one. He said, well, first off, he goes, this will do it. You can do it with this. But he goes, first off, finish it.
Yes.
Don't even think about Kickstarter until you're done. Finish writing. I was 3/4 of the way done. I had thoughts and stuff like that. But so he goes, when you're done, then we'll move to get real about it.
Yep.
Because I've heard all the stories and all the things about the guy, whatever his name was, that did the old West Chinese Western thing.
Our West.
Years to come out. Yeah, whatever. And that's on everybody's forum at one time or another. And and it's like, wow, I don't want to do that,
No.
And then I myself railed about people like Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, which is Hasbro, whatever. It's like, why are you guys on Kickstarter? You don't need Kickstarter. Kickstarter's for young, littler guys, not you guys. But okay. And then I go on it, and I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. But with Bert's help and Peter Frayne, I'm not sure if you guys know Peter Frayne. He's in England. He's in Lancashire. He's my artist on Dicey Tales.
Okay.
And with their help, I got through it.
Yep.
But I don't know whether I'll ever do it again. But it was definitely an experience.
Hey, Jeff, why don't you tell a little bit about Dicey Tales? I know what the project is because I know Bert. He's explained it to me, and I like pulp, and I like the whole genres that you write of. But I think a lot of guys don't know about it. I know about it because we have a mutual friend. He's kind of talked you up. But maybe introduce what it is and what it's all about.
Well, Dicey Tales, basically, it's at bare bones. It's Barbarians of Lemuria. If you've ever heard of that.
Yep.
Barbarians of Lemuria by Simon Washburn is one of the big sword and sorcery games, and I didn't like Lemuria. I didn't like the world, and I wanted horses. So I said, "Can I do a world for you?" And so he let me do it, and I called it Legends of Steel. And that went out pretty good. And then I said, hey, can I pump it up with some guns? And he goes, yeah, I'm doing one with guns too. And his guns was Men's Adventure of the 70s. And so I did one. I said, can I go pulp? And he let me do that. And, I give him a percentage and everything. And Dicey Tales is basically, it's been kind of pigeonholed into 1930s pulp, but it can do everything from Conan to Buck Rogers. It's just shuffling, like I said with Matt. That's why I was so interested in yours, Matt, because I was thinking, wow, that could be something that could be ported over to Dicey Tales either in the 1800s or in the 1930s or in the Old West, different ways. And but because I always enjoyed pulp, I went with Dicey Tales because the way that he built it, it's all on careers. There's no character classes. You have a hero, and his background makes him the hero. And I enjoy it. It's fun. It's everything I've ever really wanted in an adventure game, and
It's not an
pretty much it.
intimidating system, is what I would say. You do not feel intimidated by the system at all, and I think that's a great starting leap where you can start saying, you know what, I don't have to think about these rules. I start thinking about the adventures, and I can think about the world that I'm trying to create. If you can get that out of your head, because I think that's a lot of difficulty people have. It's kind of like with miniature wargaming, where you go, oh look, I got this game. I've got Flames of War, World War II miniature game. Oh wow, I'm going to paint it up. Great. Okay, I've painted up. Finally, no longer that gray army, and now I've filled it. Okay, I'm terrible. I get my butt kicked. I got to learn the rules. I learned the rules. Well, I'm not very good at the rules. There's some tactics that have to be used. So it's a multi-step thing, and that's where Dicey Tales for me, if I can see a game that has like that is behind me. The rules immediately almost get by, not without being like you rock paper scissors. You know, it's got some cool depth. It's got a lot of choices, and that's what when I did my video for Dicey Tales, and his writing style for me was really impressive, because I see a lot of products and I see a lot of people kind of short-changing stuff. They think you know what you're talking about, so they don't explain it anymore. They just say, oh, this is this creature, or this is how you do that. You know how to do that. And it's nice to see someone kind of write it out, kind of take you on this little journey. And Barbarians of Lemuria does that as well, and of course Dicey Tales. So it was a breath of fresh air for me after seeing all these products, and something that, you know, occasionally I want to see something different than a D20 game, you know, and rolling a D20. I want to see something a little bit that's going to make me think, and that's why I was so amazed by Savage Worlds when I first started playing Savage Worlds. I was like, oh my God. I was like, we're playing this game, this setting. Deadlands is awesome over here. I can do this, and the rules are really fun. And then I just did a whole bunch of it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of done with that, you know. And it was like, let's go back to what I'd play Savage Worlds in a heartbeat, but that gave me that feel. So I think you did a really good job with that. And I know there's more
with Brandon. Sorry, Brandon.
No, you're good. You're good.
With the review and the exposure that he gave me, that was wonderful, because he opened the book and he took you through the book. And I'd never seen that before. I just, you know, I read reviews, I see the stars and whatever, you know, please do it. And this guy actually opened the book and took it through. And I give your link to everybody who asked me, well, what is it? Here, look at this video, and this will tell you everything you need to know. And if you don't like it, you don't have to spend the money to see it. You can see the whole book and flip through it with yours. So I love your style of doing that.
I appreciate it.
If any of you guys want a copy, just let me know, link me, whatever, and I'll shoot you a PDF. So, you know.
Thank you.
I'm familiar with the Barbarians system. I got the first edition, and honestly, before I had been trying to find a system to do the post-apocalyptic game I wanted to do, and I simply went with DCC because it fit enough it ticked enough of the boxes that I didn't have to write that much more rule material. I could focus on the setting and what would make it cool. Mm-hmm. But Barbarians of Lemuria was absolutely was one of the systems to the point where I actually reached out to Simon at least once just to ask him what his thoughts were about it.
And there's one unsung hero with Barbarians of Lemuria. It's called Barbarians of the Aftermath.
Yep.
And that thing is beautiful.
Yeah, once I found out about that, I'm like, this is cool. I like how they did this, so I'm not going to try and stomp on it. It's not. That was the thing that told me, okay, this is not the system for me. I don't feel like I need to, do one up on that. So, one question, because you probably know more than I do. I never saw the Action Men of the 70s. I saw Dogs of War. Was that the same?
That's the one.
Dogs of War, yeah. Dogs of War is where I saw, well, here's the Barbarians, and then he put out Dogs of War, and I'm like, well, goodness, I can see how this easily flips. And I ran a pseudo Firefly with the numbers filed off game using the Barbarian system, and that worked out really, really, really well. So no, when Bert told me, because I heard about Dicey Tales through Bert, and it made perfect sense. It was a perfect, like peanut butter and jelly kind of match. Yeah.
Great. That's great. Yeah. Now for me, it was like I said, you can watch my video. I'm very proud of that video, and I could tell, like you were saying, Jeff, that all of a sudden I could see the views were really starting to go because I see what like I've been doing second edition videos, and that's a very passionate fan base right there. And then all of a sudden the views are just like, so I can see kind of what people want, but it's like, and I could see that one that obviously hit that community of Dicey Tales and Barbarians of Muri, and I try to post it where I can, to try to get some traction there to let people see that, hey, I did this video on your game, and that was one that I felt very proud, especially with Jeff, talking to me about it, and that was a really. Again, it's weird making some videos, and I know some people do a lot of fancy videos out there, and I understand the draw of it. And then here's David
we've
Beatty.
summoned a David Beatty.
There it
He's
is.
opening
And
up.
he's drinking.
Yes, it's
cheer wine.
See, it's cheer wine.
Or Dr. Pepper.
It was
It's a
going to
Dr.
be
Pepper. Oh,
Coca-Cola.
I thought it was going to be a Dr. Pepper blue blackberry.
all right. See you later, Dave. Like that. No. He's usually a cheer wine.
Oh God.
No. Matt, have you ever met David Beatty? He's right here in front of you.
What, Mr. Beatty? What a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You look like you're in a concrete container.
That's where they keep me till long con, and that's when they unleash me.
Well, that's how he stays
Pretty good
fresh,
content.
Yeah, unleash the beast. You're all shackled in there. Let me
Well,
out.
I'll tell anybody. Eddie does all the work all year long because he's a retiree, and he does he's doing all this stuff behind the scenes, and then when the con comes, he goes, "All right, batter up," and then I'm the guy running around and putting out fires, and I'm kind of the face of the con. So for the early years, people would be like, "Oh man, Matt's the guy. This is his con, and he does everything." I'd be like, "No, bro. I mean, y'all just see me at the con. He's the one over here, doing." So I loved it. He'd aggravate the crap out of Eddie because I'd be getting all these accolades, and no, Eddie's does the lion's share of the work.
It's great. I was going to say this earlier, Matt. You were talking about Blood Bowl. Dave is right in Blood Bowl season.
Yeah, he's going to Blood Bowl instead of your con, man.
You son of a...
You don't need me there anymore.
It's almost 12 o'clock. You
haven't even asked me if I'm going or not.
Well, I mean,
you
some
got your
people's
use
children.
out of me. I feel like a $2 whore right now, so it's fine.
$2.
I do think that his ears burn though, because we always talk about David Beatty, and then sure enough, here he comes, and that's a rock. Of course, I tell him we're talking about you, Dave. Come on, we're
speaking
talking
of Blood Bowl. So I'm hosting a tournament tomorrow for charity, and running about trying to get everything done, and then I realized that I don't have raffle tickets. So I look at Walmart, and they have them, and I've got 20 minutes to get from Simpsonville, which you guys don't know, that's from Simpsonville to Greenville. And you want to talk about going 90 miles an hour down the damn interstate just to try and get a roll of raffle tickets. So, and I did.
It's tight.
So, yeah.
Simpsonville to Greenville is tight. So
it is, especially when you get everybody else on the road.
They didn't have that one right down the road from you, that little one? I guess not. He had to go to the big one on Woodruff Road, huh?
Yeah. I always go for the big ones, Brandon.
I know you do. David lives like 10 minutes away from me, so we need to. I've got your X-Crawl book to give you back, by the way, Dave. Don't let me forget.
I thought you were keeping that.
No. You wanted. I asked you. You can have it back. Remember?
So is this tournament a live tournament with miniature, the original like tabletop game, or are you doing the?
You talking about Blood Bowl?
Yeah.
We play. We don't do leagues online. I play Blood Bowl 3 since they've updated the season, but we run like 2 seasons a year.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but it's fun. I mean, I got a good league, so we usually have about 20 players. And if you've never played Blood Bowl, if anybody out there likes football and killing things, and you love Blood Bowl.
When I was looking to buy into it, and I ended up buying in the 2nd edition because at the time there was a lot of bad blood about the 3rd edition. Have they fixed it?
So the game, the Cyanide, I think, is a French company that made Blood Bowl. Actually, they made all the, I think, recent iterations of Blood Bowl 1, 2, and 3. But so they changed the actual tabletop board game rules. So that's when Blood Bowl 3 came out. And 2, from what I understand, when I played, the dice roller was so bad that it was
It was just as bad as the board game was up until they finally, Games Workshop just recently changed the rules. It was a perfect emulation of a game that was broken to begin with.
Yeah. So the Blood Bowl 3, from what I've played, it seems like they've straightened a lot of the kinks out, but they're actually getting ready to go into the new version. It's been 5 years, so they're changing.
So it's a Blood Bowl 4, or is it just going to be like 3.5 or 3?
I think it's the third season. Right now, I think it's second. Instead of edition, they're saying season. So.
They have to
lots of changes, though. A lot of people are not happy. So.
Who are you playing with, Dave?
What do you mean?
What's your team?
What team?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love them all. There's like 23 teams now. Everything from Snotlings, which are like not even knee high, to ogres. It's so much fun. You've played, hadn't you? Played the online version, Brandon?
Yeah, I played online, and I've sat through a couple of your games to see the anger that happens through a couple of the.
Oh yeah, everybody that knows me knows. Like I think I pulled up the odds. I don't have my phone. The worst thing you can roll on a set of block dice is when you throw blocks is a double skull, and the odds of you rolling that are like 1. I rolled it 4 turns in a row, and I looked it up. I was like, what are the odds of me doing this? And it was like 1,600,000 to 1. And I did that. And I do it all the time. So I'm pretty sure I was a serial killer in a past life. Ran over some puppies. I don't know what I did, but I'm paying for it. And I'm good with that, though. I mean, that's why Micco's in my life now.
Yeah. That's if you guys have ever played in one of my online games. I run online games on Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know, when I roll and when I'm GMing or judging, I roll the worst ever. Like you want to play in my games if you want to live, because I rarely roll anything other than fumbles and low numbers. But this last Thursday, I wiped out. I had a TPK, and then the guys came back. They just were laughing because they're like, "You never roll well," and I don't. And when I'm judging, and I think it's kind of fun because the guys are like, "Oh, you don't roll well," so they'll take chances they don't. It makes for a fun game. We all laugh. But this Thursday, man, I had 2 TPKs in a row because I was just rolling and they did really well, and they didn't do. They died, and I was rolling everything. But usually when I roll.
Well, in all honesty, what I just said when I said that I had bad karma, I mean, anybody that has to have a life-saving surgery because they swallowed Boba Fett's dart, you got me beat.
There we go.
That's got to come out.
When you say online, is that
what
kind of online is that?
So David can't listen. It was the Battlestar Galactica toy, and we've had this discussion. But he's very stuck on my Boba Fett because he thinks he's going to get it from me. He's not. I roll my game.
Matt, did you hear this story, Gullet?
No.
Oh, you got to tell him the story.
No. All right, let's hear it.
No,
tell the story. Every time Matt's on the show, we got to tell the story.
Even I know the story, and this is the first time I've met him.
Oh wow!
So Reid doesn't know it either.
No, I know the story. I just haven't. This is the first time I've met this Matt.
Jeff, I run games on Roll20, so I'm going to answer your question first. Me and Zach Glazer are both the Battlestar Galactica kids, and I think he was Boba Fett. I'm Battlestar Galactica. We ruined your childhood. I freely admit it. I got paid for it later on. The reason Battlestar Galactica, the little Cylon and the Vipers, they used to launch the little rockets. I swallowed one of those after it went off, and Zach got the Boba Fett. So if you have either one of those toys, it's a collector's item because they were outlawed. Yeah. And if you don't, you're poor. And if you do, you told me what one of them was worth. I was like, wow.
Oh, they're ridiculous price.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was so pissed as a kid because I remember that. I was like, why don't it shoot its rocket pack dart anymore? And it's like, because of you and Zach Glazer.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's a small world.
Yeah.
Well, and Zach and I didn't know that we had that in common. We've become friends, and Jen is one of the sweetest people on earth, and Zach is lucky that he lucked out. He reached into his future and pulled her out. So I mean, she's spectacular. But yeah, we were talking, and randomly he says something like, "What?" And yeah, we found that we had that in common. So it's
both like choking on toys as kids, huh?
Yep.
I remember that.
I'm not even going to go there. I mean, it's just in my head, Matt. You just don't bait me like that.
Nice.
kindred spirits. Maybe like, you know, when you're looking at the moon, maybe Zach's looking at that same moon. You know, Fievel goes west, type Fievel. You know?
I remember my friends all being upset because their stuff was that, and I was like, oh, well, that's too bad. And I was at home playing with my Micronauts that had
Micronauts. I love those. I had those.
The Micronaut, the company who was doing Micronauts didn't follow up on the spring thing for another year or two.
Yeah.
So I had a ton of Micronauts toys that could shoot all the way down the hallway of my house.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a short hallway, you know. So I'm sure that they were very unsafe. And I loved every minute of it.
Well, they
All
had
I could ever find was time travelers. Lots of time travelers everywhere.
It seemed like I had the Shogun Warrior that would launch his fist or something like that.
I think, or Mazinger, depending on who you want to say is,
I thought it
the
was
black one was
Voltron.
Mazinger.
Well, Micronauts were cool because they had the comic book too, so you could play with them, and then they had the comic book.
I had the comic book, and I had the. I remember when they canceled the stupid comic book. I'm like, no. Although I did have
Here's a nerd trivia question: who did the art for Micronauts?
For what?
Marvel artist.
I don't remember. Although I could easily cheat and go to my hard drive and pull out because I actually have the copies.
Michael Golden.
Just Rain. I know that.
And he calls me Rain Man. It's like, okay, you come up with something like that. He calls me Rain Man.
I know my comics, dude. You should too.
I had a good guess. I was thinking Neil Adams, but it wasn't. But
Neil's good. Neil's
real good. He was around that time.
You know what I like? You know what I like, and I'm certain you guys will know this, and hopefully you will connect to this. Is I've been enjoying Power Records again. Power Records are great. You know, the records with the comics that used to come with it. They're fantastic. I tell you why. It's 15 minutes. You get a whole story. Like if you're driving somewhere, they've got them all on YouTube. There's a whole podcast devoted to Power Records, and they've got Man Thing. They got Planet of the Apes. They've got Space 1999. They've got Batman, Spider-Man. They've got so many of them, and it's even if you can't look through the comic, just being able to hear, you know, that old, you know, that story for just 15 minutes. It's a nice. You don't get that really anymore. Like, where do you find 15-minute Spider-Man story or Batman story? They even have some Dracula stuff. I've been listening to that for Halloween, and I've been on this big Dracula kind of kick lately with the Tomb of Dracula comic book and you know, stuff like that. So I highly recommend people go back out and search for some cool. They're all on YouTube, and some of them even have the pages that go by. If you want to watch them, you're getting a complete story in 15 minutes. And I don't know where you find that, especially with
a YouTuber. I think it's Variant Comics, or Variant is the YouTube channel. He actually, Absolute Batman is like the thing that everybody is into right now. It's changing the Batman, you know, story from years. And so I don't jump on the bandwagon for new comics a lot of times because they're crap. And especially new stuff, because you're like, a lot of times it's just fatty or it's somebody's political statement. It's like, I read comics for fun. Yeah. But he does that. He reads through the Batman comics, and he did it on his whole channel. It's like an hour or something. He reads through the several issues. So I actually thought of that when you said that.
That's pretty
really cool. He just read through the comics, and he tells the story, and he shows the pages as he goes by. I was like, this is really cool. So I was working out today and watching that, and I was like,
that's great. Jeff Mejia, do you like comics? He's gonna have like across his forehead. He's like completely covered in comic covers. Hey,
I want everything that I couldn't afford when I was a kid.
That's right.
It was my mom, my brother, and me. So that was it. My grandfather, if I went to mass, my grandfather would give me $2. Across the street from the cathedral was a place called Comics and Comics in Sacramento. 20-cent comics.
Oh man!
And I had $2.
You're loaded up.
So, and then I got in good with the guys, and I would stack comics and sort comics for them, and they'd give me a handful of comics. Go ahead and take some.
That's awesome, man.
You know? And I still got them, and now I'm trying to bag them because I just had them put over there somewhere, and I said I really should bag these, you know, board them and bag them. I don't understand the whole clamshell thing, but for me, I'll bag and board them. But you know, we couldn't afford the G.I. Joe, so I used to get the Migos. And but but that's what I grew up with. So everything I couldn't afford when I was little, I bought now.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
So when you're talking about the G.I. Joes, you're talking about the tall 16-inch ones? Or the little ones?
The G.I. Joes?
Yeah.
Those guys up there. Like Sergeant Rock and
the big
the big ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
my mom threw all those out. I still hate her.
Oh wow. So talking about comics, what was your favorite comic as a kid? And I know it's tough to pick probably, but what was your favorite as a kid?
Avengers.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man was mine.
Batman, and then Justice League.
Probably between Batman and I loved Werewolf by Night, but there was an issue with Moon Knight.
I'm gonna be the weirdo.
That eludes him forever. That eludes Beatty forever.
Dial H for Hero.
Oh wow, I remember that one. Yeah.
I liked it because it was new and interesting heroes every single comic book. It was about a pair of kids who were gifted watches that whenever they got into trouble or something bad was happening around them, they kind of like Captain Marvel style would turn into superheroes. But the watch was a randomizer, and it would turn them into heroes that didn't exist in any comic books. And after the first issue, they had contests where you could describe and write up a comic book hero, right? And so they would take readers' ideas for heroes they showed up for a quarter of a comic book or half of a comic book.
That's cool. I dig that. I did have one that was Hawkeye, and he was fighting a guy called Blind Justice, and the guy looked awesome, and he had a gun that shot like electricity, and if you committed any little crime, he killed you. It didn't matter what these guys were doing, and then of course he ran across mobs.
Jaywalking, zap.
Exactly, that's what he would do, and he's really cool. If you go look him up, he's just got like a blue mask. He's got a cape, which I'm sorry for me, even though I like Spider-Man, there's something about a cape, like a DC cape. When I see that, I'm like, yes, that's proper. But he had the scales of justice across his chest, and if you did anything, boom, you're done. You've messed up. And of course, Hawkeye was. I liked anything with a bow, so because that was back in the day when I was like, cool bows, and elves, and look at me. But
Green Lantern, Green Arrow crossover. You didn't? I remember that. That was Neil Adams, right? Was that Neil?
Actually, there was a comic that I can't remember, but it had them both in it. It seemed like.
Yeah.
It was a series, I think. Not a series. It was a mini series with Green Lantern and Green Arrow, in which Hal Jordan was basically almost the entire time being slapped around for being such a short-sighted, self-centered, racist guy. And it was basically them. It was them having Green Lantern or Green Arrow, wake him up. You got all this high and mighty stuff of all this stuff going out through the galaxy, but look at your home planet. You're allowing this to happen, and all you're worried about is what's going on in another planet. And it was a social commentary comic, but it was also where Hal Jordan really changed, and kind of like became the Hal Jordan that everyone was hoping he would be, versus being such a stuck-up, stick-in-the-mud kind of person, which also made his heel turn into Parallax into such a huge, incredible thing, because he became the hero that all the DC heroes were looking up to, and that's what was such a huge. When he did a heel turn, it was like, whoa,
that can't be.
The last thing I collected was Rom Space Knight.
Oh yeah. I had the actual figure for Rom. He was actually pretty cool.
Mine's up here on the shelf.
Mine died so bad.
We're like all about the same age, so I don't know about you guys, but for me, I don't complain as much when it comes to the Marvel movies and the Tolkien movies, because that's stuff that I just dream about when I was a kid.
Right.
So, when I see it now, I can't nitpick it, because I would have died if I would have had that when I was 11 years old. You know,
Yeah.
I would have been able to see the Avengers and all
Right.
of that. And my only little my nitpick of all of them is that they made my favorite character so weak, and that was the Vision.
Oh yeah.
I know in my heart, I think that the Vision could have been so much better in the Avengers, but I think they had to kind of power him down to not have too many Hulk, Thor, Vision, you know, and
Right.
destroy the universe kind of thing. But
Well, he was a
it
second
went
string
down
hero.
so easy. I was like, wow.
Yeah, instead of making him a primary character, they made him a permanent second string character. Although he be, with Vision Quest coming out, you may get the Vision you were hoping for.
Maybe
they're effectively rebooting him.
Oh wow!
I don't know if you guys were familiar with the Vision Quest was just recently announced.
Yeah,
But,
something about
at the end of WandaVision, you had the white rebuilt physical Vision versus the magical recreation of the original Vision, and the two of them had their discussion, and the memories that were taken from him were given to him by his magical doppelganger. So the white Vision effectively is now a physical and he got his backup copy of all of his memories, as far as Wanda knew his memories, because she touched the Mind Stone, so she literally had backed him up.
That's cool.
And Vision Quest is effectively the white Vision now all of a sudden with a backup copy of his memory. So it's not his memories; it's a backup copy. So he's trying to mesh them into, like, this is who I am, but this is who I am, but this is all my memories, and they're not compatible yet. And it's him trying to figure things out.
That's great, because I always prefer the white Vision myself.
Yeah.
That's probably for me playing the Sega Genesis Avengers game a whole bunch and picking Vision and loving him in that white suit, because I played the hell out of that game when I was young. But no, that's cool. The superhero movies are weird, man. They're very weird, and some people like certain ones, some people don't like other ones.
They just seem to make certain characters overpowered. Like Sue Storm should not be wrestling Galactus. It's just like, I'm sorry, but that's just. I don't care that they made a female the hero. That really doesn't bother me. I'm all playing, but like the female Hawkeye, she was like she'd taken a Taekwondo lesson, and I was just like, okay, this is just bad. And the Sue Storm with Galactus, I was like, no, this is just no.
Yeah.
And they're like, some stuff, it's like, yeah, you're not going to have like Batman and Superman go toe to toe if Batman doesn't have a ton of time to prepare type thing. And it's just like certain things are like,
if Carol Danvers was wrestling with Galactus, you'd be like, oh, sure. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. But like Hawkeye, the female version, was going up against Kingpin, and they did make her get thrown around, but there's like no way she's holding her own against Kingpin. He's just beating the tar out of her.
You guys remember when Spider-Man went up against Superman?
Oh yeah. It was
announced. The giant size.
Yep.
And Spider-Man goes and punches Superman a whole bunch of times in the chest, and he breaks his hands.
Ooh, you don't want that.
Makes sense considering the general power scope of things. I mean, Spider-Man's no weakling, but he's not Superman.
No, he's not Superman.
I had one of those supersized issues that had Spider-Man, Superman. It had the Hulk, and it had Dr. Doom in it, which I love. Dr. Doom, that's my favorite villain.
Which one was it where they had the Muhammad Ali was fighting? I can't remember who was fighting.
Who was he fighting?
I might have been Superman or Batman.
He was fighting Superman, yeah.
I don't remember that. I remember he was in comics. I just don't remember.
There's crazy ones, man. There's Kiss. They actually took the blood of the members of Kiss and put it in the print.
I remember that.
Put it in the ink.
Can I?
The Kiss.
Can I promo?
My friend
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Kiss Psycho Circus was the one that was actually like Gene Simmons had gotten approval from the rest of his bandmates and went to Image, and so Kiss Psycho Circus was done with Gene Simmons like guiding each issue. I can't.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's his homage to Kiss in his X Crawl Rodeo, right?
Yeah.
I did an homage to Kiss because I was just like, this is before Ace died.
Yeah, you predicted it right.
No.
I was going to say, if you haven't finished all your art, and you're looking for a good Kiss thing, is my friend and one of the gamers that I played for years and years with, his name Ulysses, and his brother is Angel Medina. So I got to meet Angel Medina quite a long time ago. I don't know if anybody's familiar who Angel Medina is, but Angel Medina is the person who inked or who drew all of Kiss Psycho Circus and Summon Spawn, and he did a whole bunch of stuff. He's famous. What I was going to say is Angel Medina is pretty active. You could always, he probably would do a single image for you if you wanted to really capture the Kiss Psycho Circus thing, because he's the one who created the entire reign. It was from the beginning to the end. He was the only artist. There was other inkers and there were other colorists, but he was the one who did the base art for it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. I remember that stuff came out. Then they had was there a video game too?
Yeah, they were really going crazy cakes. Gene Simmons was lighting
he was
crazy cakes with it.
I think Dave would be the Gene Simmons of this group.
I was definitely I loved Gene Simmons when I was a huge Kiss fan as a kid. I had a lunchbox. I was a member of the Kiss Army fan club.
Double platinum.
I have pictures of me dressed up in Kiss makeup.
Yeah, David, did you actually read the Kiss Psycho Circus?
I think I got the first series of it, but I just kind of fell off of it. I was in and out of comics about that time.
No, it's one that I could see you getting into because, like I said, they didn't just take the name and run with it. It was it was deep in the Kiss mythological lore, and each issue had to be passed by Gene Simmons, if I remember correctly, or he had a large say in it.
This cod piece needs to be bigger.
Yeah, so it was very true to what they wanted it to be versus just setting a deal off and letting somebody go run with it. Anyways,
I think Gene Simmons kept everybody's kids in college and got everybody a house at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He kept it together for them.
I didn't know he was in a porno. Did you guys know that? Gene Simmons?
No.
I didn't know that.
That surprised me.
Yeah, a home porn. I didn't know that.
Who was?
Gene Simmons, it was a leaked porn, and evidently he's not doing a good job of it, whatever it is he's doing. I haven't seen it. I can't remember who told me about this. But it's true. You can find it.
There you go. That's what Matt just sent me. The
nice.
So
yeah, so that's our house band for X-Trail Rodeo. I wanted to do something fun, and we went back and forth, and I was going to do Guns N' Roses, but then I'm and then Joey, the artist, Joey Docile, see, Joey, I can get your name right.
Yeah, I got it right too now.
So he was just like, what if we do Kiss? I'm like, oh, yeah. So that's a Kiss. So that's my homage to Kiss for.
Well, it looks like a cross between Kiss and Goblins, like the band.
That's Yep. So that's exactly what it is. It's Goblin Kiss.
Yeah.
So and they're called Kiss. So yeah, I thought that was super fun.
Nice.
And obviously, Kiss was a big part of my childhood growing up, and as was AC/DC, Ozzy. Well,
I don't know if you guys remember much from the America Survival Guide, but one of the deities is Kiz with Z's instead of S's. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would have to say that there was some level of influence there for me too.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Traveler? Okay, Traveler. What was their house magazine? What was it called? Was it the Challenge, or was it the Travelers Aid Society, or something like that?
I think it was the Travelers Aid Society, because Challenge was
JAS, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that. The Journal.
The Travelers Aid Society. Well, anyway, they had an excellent adventure where that picture reminded me of them. They were an intergalactic rock band, and your team was their security. And I think they messed around or messed up with some kind of Boba Fett, Jabba the Hutt kind of guy, and you had to protect the rock band as they went from world to world. And but that was in that issue of Traveler, and that was such a great adventure,
I think
and I was thinking that would be a good adventure for a modern modern or futuristic thing. Where
This right here, Journal of the Travelers Aid
that's the
Society.
one, Journal of
Yeah,
the Travelers.
JTAS. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember reading that a long time ago, and I saw that picture. I was like, "Oh, that would be like, could you imagine being their roadies or their security? What kind of what kind of problems those guys would have?"
Man, they got stories. They got stories, and they probably got like strange fluids on them at times, and who knows what. Like, alcohol all over the place, drugs. I bet it was wild. But I will let y'all know that I just love these back ends too. I love these back ends of these videos because we start talking about movies, comics, just whatever. You know what I mean? Like it gets late, and it's just fun to be able to.
It's all
just
stuff
talk
that
about.
formed what we are writing now.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. I would like to see somebody in the OSR scene kind of do a I've talked about it before, my love of Sinbad and Clash of the Titans, like a little bit of like a Ray Harryhausen type of campaign world, something like that, a game that comes out that's it's got those elements of it, either Greek mythology or Sinbad type stuff.
I believe last time we talked, I had mentioned that there was some stuff that I had pulled out of my infinite box of stuff I'd never finished. And Bert and I were going over a couple of ones, and he found one that he wants to champion, and he's trying to he's taken my 3/4 finished rough diamond and trying to fix it.
Okay.
It may or may not be very much a homework type, Odyssey type thing.
That would be great. Yeah,
that'd be a Bert question, because I basically gave the IP to him.
Yeah,
I'm still going to help him with it, but that was a gift of mine to him if he really wanted it. So
have a ball with it.
It's in playtest. It's ready for playtest.
That's cool.
So, but it is not something I'm publishing. I'm letting Bert do it through his Blue Magic. So.
That's cool. He unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. He's running his game right now.
Oh yeah, he and I talked about that before the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's be cool.
I did a campaign for a whole year called Adventure on the Seventh Sea, and it was Sinbad. It was all West Africa and East Africa. Excuse me, East Africa, all Axum and all those that area, all the way to India and China. And I just gave the guys a boat, and this is your boat, and you guys run the boat. And it was just second edition D&D.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I was out of work at the time, and I was playing with a bunch of guys from Europe because I was home at 2 p.m, and that was a great time for them. So
that's awesome, man. No, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'd love to see something like that. Sinbad. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Clash of the Titans would be like tough because you would have some power.
Yeah.
Because if you think about that movie, who they fought,
you're
going up against the Medusa, and you're going against.
Yep.
Dogs.
That would be rough.
That's one of the reasons why Bert wanted to save the game from my eternal trash bin, is I kind of addressed how you could ever have that scope and still have people like go to a bar and have a bar fight.
Right. Yeah, there definitely is some power stuff there. Not everybody's the son of a god like Perseus was.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely get that. But there's just go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It's all you. It's all you. I talk too much.
Now, I have an odd question about superheroes. So what is your favorite low rent superhero? No powers, and you can't say Batman because that's too easy.
Wildcat.
Dude, why are we in the same thing today? That was what I was
going to
say.
Man.
Go ahead.
Wildcat's
not a stretch from David. I mean, he's surrounded by cats. So
several of them very wild. Incredibly wild.
You taught Batman how to fight.
Yes.
That's true.
But yeah, what's your favorite low rent superhero, no powers, ran around? So it's usually it's usually maybe from a pulp age, or I don't know. There's been newer ones, but
the question.
Yeah, I mean, most of the ones that I would consider street level superheroes had some sort of an ability to them, but they weren't like Justice League level. They were, so a powerless superhero
or low rent, low power, low rent. It's fine. We're not.
That's what I took this as like street level.
Street level. Yeah.
Then I definitely I loved the Shadow. The idea that
Shadow.
Yes, he primarily was a detective who punched people, and he had a network of people that he had helped that he turned into a spy network, but it was his. It was just he was a little bit psychic, and he couldn't use it all the time, but when he did, he used it in blasts or I should say short periods of messing with people's minds because he couldn't do it all the time. But it was a limited resource you could take use of. But I just loved I thought he as a character caught the whole using fear as a weapon better than Batman in a sense.
Yeah,
that's a good
I
one.
ran a Dicey Tales 1930s adventure, and one of my players he wiped me out, and it was so funny because everybody loved him, but he played El Spectro, was a luchador.
Yeah.
1930s luchador and El Spectro, and like he did ripped off Santo, but we just took it. We went through a Peruvian adventure in Peru, and he ruled that game. It was so fun.
There's mine.
The Watchman.
Yeah, okay, that's true. That's yeah. He did not have any powers whatsoever. Well, to say he had no powers might be a little but all of his stuff is how he thought it was. I think he might have had something to do with his mind being unusual. But yeah, I get your point. Definitely street level, and definitely scary as all get out.
And what a neat design too, if you think about the mask and everything. Like
the Rorschach mask. Yep.
Yeah, it just works, and I've always loved the movie, and I know people don't like it, which whatever. And it's always one of those things where people didn't like it, and then like 10 years later, like, you know what, that movie was actually pretty good. I was like, no shit, Sherlock. What do you think? I mean, pay attention. But I understand if you don't like it. I dug it. I thought Rorschach was awesome. But
so that same crew that did Watchmen did Spirit. So the Spirit, and they did Spirit. I think it's called Spirit Adventures. So that same exact crew, same artist, same writer, did Spirit Adventures, and I have not got a chance to read it yet, but I heard it's very good. So if you like the one, they did Spirit, which is low rent. The other one I was going to bring up is Phantom.
Phantom, yeah.
He had a dog. He had guns. He had a horse. He was awesome.
He had an inherited special ability. I liked the power sources because they weren't your standard. Okay, so the Shadow had it was a mentalism, and you had the Phantom had the ring that was passed down from his down his family that gave him some special powers because the Phantom was a mantle that had been worn many times. The Spirit was really interesting because he had a supernatural connection with his city, and that his city wouldn't let him die, and. The movie was not nearly as serious as the actual comic was, but it still came across that Alan Quatermain-esque of as long as Alan Quatermain never leaves Africa, he cannot die kind of thing.
I dig that.
So Alan Quatermain would be another one that I thought was kind of an interesting character. He wasn't a comic book character, but he was an Indiana Jones, except he'd made it kind of a deal with Africa, and Africa would not let him die. He literally died multiple times, and it's like, a lot of people didn't read his books. He died multiple times in his books and came back.
Thank you, Africa.
Yeah.
Did Matt say? And then Beatty, did you say one? I can't remember. For a low, low power. Did you say one, Beatty?
Punisher.
Oh.
That's true. He doesn't have any superpowers. You're right. I didn't even just.
And there's a lot of them,
Yeah.
I mean, what about you?
Did you ever see the one where he goes and I think he kills all the Marvel characters, like they all became zombies or something, and he's the one. Yeah, that one was wild.
Black Widow doesn't have any powers. I mean,
that's true.
There's a lot of it's more to get people to think because everybody's like, oh, there's not many, but I'm like, there actually is. If you look at the old JSA, most of those guys didn't have any powers.
Yeah, that's true.
JSA. They're just running around like, they're guys in masks running around.
The funky
Red
one
Hood
was Hellcat. If you remember Hellcat, because they took an old Patsy Cline, not Patsy Cline, but Patsy Walker, and she was like a Barbie Gidget comic girl, and they brought her from the 60s to the 70s, gave her the cat costume, made her Hellcat, put her in the Defenders, and then sent her off with Moondragon.
Didn't she
who
marry
learned how to be
Damien
a hero.
Hellstrom or something, the son of Satan?
I don't know if she did
I
that.
think she ended up marrying him or something. I don't know.
And I think they had a like a offspring too, right? Didn't they have some offspring or something?
I don't remember that. I just, as far as I went with her, is that when she found the costume, she was just putting it on, just playing around with it. But the costume imbued her, and all of a sudden, and then she was good enough for the Defenders, and then Moondragon got a hold of her and said, "Come on, I'll teach you how to be a superhero," and they went off.
You say she was good enough for the Defenders. Unfortunately,
that's what Brandon
it was
did to
kind
me.
of a low bar to enter the Defenders at the beginning.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, do you have a costume? Yes. Can you do something that people over at the 7-Eleven can't do? Yes. Welcome to the Defenders.
Like Mystery Men.
I mean, so getting back to it, like Dr. Midnight, the original Dr. Midnight had some goggles, but they were not superpowers. They were just gadgets. And then he had the cool owl. Hootie? Is it Hootie?
Hootie. Yeah.
Hootie, yeah. So, I don't know, that's Batman, those heroes that do more with their brains and their physical activity, kind of have always intrigued me more. So the Wildcats, the Phantom, the Lone Ranger, Green Hornet with Kato,
right?
All that stuff. I've really, I don't know, and maybe that's why I was a police officer, because we got to wear our belt, and we got to have our gadgets, and we got to go out and fight crime. I mean, it's not a long walk.
Well, I mean, half of those characters were previously police officers that got sick of the bureaucracy and decided to put a different suit on so they could, better fight justice. So yeah, I can see where you're right. You're only one step away.
Yeah, like I never lost it and got a costume, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen anymore. I'm a little too broken for that, but yeah, it'd be fun.
What about this, Dave? What about that?
Hey, nobody told me there was going to be scaries. No scaries.
So that's when I go to bed every night. It's there's a routine to that, and there's Gracie and there's Jesco. This is Jesco, and Gracie is not afraid to jump in front of Jesco to get attention and then get her treats first. And if I give her too much time at the end of the bed, this is the exact look that he gives me, and it's like a locked, dead-on stare, and it's like 10 minutes he'll just stare at me like this.
He'll be joining with us here. It has to do with that. What it has to do is he's got it looks like he's got kind of a pugged-in nose a little bit, but it's that one eye is like a little bit off.
Yeah.
Our left eye, like his right eye, it's like a little bit different, and so it looks very like judging.
Because nobody else. Well, some of you guys may know this, but he essentially rolled out in front. I was driving a fire engine down the road, and he rolled out in front of me during the. He either fell out of a car, or somebody threw him, or we're living in a simulation. Because here's this thing rolling around on the road, and I didn't know what it was, but it caught my eye, and as we got up on it, I saw it stopped, and it was a kitten, and I immediately just hit the strobe bar of the fire engine, did a hard U-turn in the middle of a 4-lane busy road. And the other guys in the truck were like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, "There's a damn kid in the road." They didn't even see it. So I get the truck turned around, and he had rolled all the way like a damn tumbleweed from the dividing line to the far right, just inside the curb. And he was a half a pound, maybe 3-4 weeks old. So like I said, the coincidences with this was...
That is wild.
So yeah, maybe he is wall-eyed because he took a hit from the road when he rolled over.
And I'm certain when that happened, your firefighter buddies were like, "It's like a sitcom. That's Beatty." You know what I mean? They were like, "Well, that's just Beatty."
No, they all I had to do was they let my lieutenant, who was on the side, driving beside me, or riding beside me, he said, I thought somebody had hit somebody or something, the way you just jerked the wheel. Cause I mean, it was just like instinct, hit the strobe, do a hard turn and scare the shit out of everybody.
Like, no, it's more important than that.
Yeah.
There's a cat.
So
I can't believe you threw that up there, man. That's like the look he gives me sometimes. It's kind of intimidating.
And I like how it's like by that, like far away from you too. Sometimes you send those pictures too, but no, that's good. This has been great. I wanna kind of wrap it up here. I want to try to go at least till 12 and not have anything go too terribly late. I know it's not for you guys since y'all are all whatever zones you guys are in. I don't mountain.
Arizona is its own zone.
Central.
Those are all goof. I'm gonna tell y'all now. Those are goofball zones, man. I mean,
California, PST.
That's even. I mean, that I can understand. Like it's like two extremes, but in the middle, what is it? What time is it? I don't know. It's like, and then you have to feel like, what state? What is that in? Is that 1 hour back? You head west a little bit. But
I brought my wife from Hawaii over here, and she's like, "What the hell is daylight saving? Why do you need daylight savings time?"
Don't know really.
Whatever. Everything's so expensive
we don't
to save.
We don't do it in Arizona at all. So everybody's like, "What do you?" We just stay the whole time,
That's
and everybody's
fair.
like, because some years we're on mountain, and so I think, but because you Texas guys will be like either an hour or 2 hours, and so I get confused. But yeah, Arizona doesn't do that either. We do our own. They don't do. Arizona doesn't do much right, but they decided we're not going to change the time randomly during the year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, this has been fun. I hope y'all have enjoyed it, and we'll just do like a really quick. I want to do it just at the end in case for some reason somebody watches just the end. If you want to just plug something like whatever you want to plug, we'll go with Matt. We'll just go around clockwise. Matt, once again.
Yeah, Backer Kit. Give me a like, follow X-Crawl Rodeo. I can't tell you stretch goals yet. We're still working on them. I know there will be an early bird, first 48 hours. I know at least you'll get a sticker, X-Crawl Rodeo sticker. That's the only thing I've got worked out right now. Program's going to launch November 11th, but give me a like. I want to get to 250 so
The Beatty level. You got to get that.
I can get the Beatty level.
There's a button you push now to go. You said that you can go past that, and I think it's called the Beatty button, and you push it past it, it just goes past that.
Right.
Is that what it is? And that's Dave. All right. Well, cool. And then, like I said, I'll have links to all this, and then the other Matt Gullet. There you go. What do you got?
Thank you. By the way, thank you for having me, Brandon. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, I've been wanting to, but no. Look for coinciding with the start of LongCon, which LongCon this year is the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. But that's when I'll be rolling out my Kickstarter for the Malefic Manor.
Okay.
Great.
And I'll have a link.
Excited about that. I hate I missed you talking about it. Hopefully you probably did. But...
Oh, we lost him. Oh no, he's back.
There he is.
Oh. No,
is he?
But he's frozen.
Oh, wait. He's checking us out.
Yeah.
He refreshed and it kicked him out.
Yeah, well, it's been kind of lagging just the last minute or so. It's been it's been great otherwise.
Well, you got a website. LongCon's got a website, so I'll link to that. Right.
Thank you so much.
It is on my. It is like I have 3. Okay, it's North Texas. These are the ones I like to go to. I've been to Gary Con with David Beatty, and that was a lot of fun. But really, North Texas and LongCon I think are the 2 that I would like to show up to. North Texas has been the one I've thought about and considered for next year.
Well, North Texas is great, and we stole a lot of what we do from them.
Right.
But I'll say that we're not the biggest con, but one reason why Brendan's been able to come out, because normally I think one time he had said, Joe, it's like, he really wants me to go to bigger cons. We're smaller con, but our DCC footprint, David will tell you, like last year, hell, half of our games were Weird Frontiers, it seemed like. So, I mean, yeah, we've had a lot of love for the DCC and the derivative games.
How many?
But go anyway.
How many did y'all run last year? Total games.
They see this is the kind of shit where I need
Make it up. Just make the match. Just make it up. Make it up.
Yeah,
1 million. Yeah.
Nice.
$9 million games.
There's one person watching, and who knows if whoever watches this later, which this will be able to watch later if you want to watch yourself back, like I often do myself. But no, I'll have a link to that. And like I said, LongCon is definitely on the radar. And then we've got Reid. What you got? Anything? kind of same?
Bert and I are working on something, but I'd rather not announce anything. Mainly because I don't want to get people's expectations up and then have me have another flare up and then push it off and all that kind of stuff. So it's not that nothing's going on. It's just going on in a pace that I can proceed at. And when you hear about it, it'll probably be done.
I'll send them to your site or your drive-through, wherever you want. Like, where do you like your stuff to be bought from?
Well, they can go if they want to buy stuff. They can go to the drive-through.
Okay.
If they want to get into America discussions, there's a Discord. I'm pretty sure I sent you the link to the Discord. If not, I can send it to you.
And send it again just in case, because I'll look back through all. I mean, maybe I'll have it. I'll look and see. And then Jeff, you got anything that you can announce?
Yeah, once I can get all you guys to write adventures for me, that would be great. But no, it's me myself pretty much writing adventures with a couple other guys. So that's why Dicey Tales 2 is taking a little bit longer. Dicey Tales Adventures 1 is an RPG, drive-through RPG, and Dicey Tales, the actual, book itself, the core rules, is at drive-through and on Amazon. So there's those two. But
that's great.
That's it for me, and I'm still working on Dicey Tales 2. So when we get it out, I'll be singing its praises.
That's awesome. And then Mr. David Beatty.
I got nothing.
Sure you do. You can be talking like that.
Bastard.
When's the reference guide and the adventure going to be on drivethrurpg?
POD codes are going out. If you don't already have yours and you're watching this, reach out because you should have them by now. I think. Matt, have you got yours?
Yeah, I already borrowed my book.
I think Brandon, you got yours too, right?
Yep, and I ordered them today.
Dice should be here tomorrow, and patches should be here next week. So
I want my dice hand delivered.
Who did you use for patches, David?
I thought it was. I'll send you the link, but it ended up being a company in China, which has hit or miss, mostly hit reviews. But I ran into a little hitch because I paid them almost a month ago, and that was after I told them which patch everybody voted on. That's the one I wanted, and I never heard anything from them. I just happened to reach out this week, and they're like, "Well, you never approved the proof," and I'm like, why would I pay you and tell you I want this patch? So I filed a complaint with PayPal because, I think after 30 days, it's kind of, I don't know if you get your money back. It's a little harder. So I was like, I'm not playing this game, and I went ahead and filed, but evidently they sent me the DHL tracking. So there'll probably be patches, and they'll be like, that kind of thing. I crossed my fingers
Melting
on
Man
that.
from RoboCop.
Yeah, the dice will be great, I'm sure, but the patches, when I see them, there'll be a big sigh, and I'll post pictures. So all that should start going out, I'd say 10 business days once I have it all together. Boxes have already been ordered, so it's just a matter
Well,
of
I mean, your audience. If you explain, this is not what I ordered, but this is what I got, the derpier they are, the more people are going to want them.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give them away as swag at cons if they're horrible.
When will the reference guide and the adventure be available for the public, people that didn't do the backer kit? When will that be available?
That's a good question. You guys that know me very well know that Bird is my actual brain, so I'm just the extremely handsome, good-looking guy that I am. Brandon is the actual I'm the
writer.
The one. Yeah.
I did do a lot, and the more I think about it, I did do most of Weird Frontiers, but
you did. I'd say at least 75% of it you did.
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me use, just put my name on it.
From what I remember of Bert's conversations, it won't be tremendously long.
That's good. No, because I always want to let, with a link, I got to let people see that, hey, you can get
No, but everything should start going out, I'd say, definitely by end of the month, as long as everything looks okay, as far as the fulfillment of the swag items and stuff. But other than that, the second edition's coming, we're moving along. The reference guide and the adventure kind of slowed that down because Bert's been going back through the documents and doing, adding additional art. We replaced a lot of art, added some art, probably going to add some more art, as a matter of fact. But got 2 covers in. I'm kind of on the fence about. Brandon, you know about that. So I'm going to give some of the artists that do the adventure covers a shot and see if I like theirs better. I may even let people vote on it. But other than that, I mean, I hope to have the backer kit up for second printing by end of the year, and then the doc will be ready to go from there. Once the campaign's over, payment will be made. Last time, I think it took 3 months to get the books, so you figure kind of going along those same lines, it may be spring we'll start fulfillment of second print.
That's great. And Dave sends me a lot of art, and it's like, what do you think about this? And I'm always like, hey man, I think it looks great. I think art's interesting, especially for covers and stuff, because it's like I think sometimes we maybe overthink some things.
I definitely
yeah, Dave does, and it's fine. He wants it to be that thing that I think really wows him every time, or like I don't know. It's always, I think, with anything that people make, we have certain expectations of what it's going to be, and you have to kind of have someone else kind of say, I think that's really good. I think, and it's not that big of it's not as huge of a deal, I think, as we make it out to be sometimes, but it is important. And I think if you nail it right, that's the thing. You get it right. It's like if you go to a restaurant, they've got great, good food. Sometimes it's going to be bad. And it's like, if you get it just right, it's like, wow, I had a different experience than this person did. They didn't make it right, but I'm excited to see those covers. And I was actually going to ask you about that, about those covers, because that's going to be neat. And it's going to be a slipcase, right?
Yeah, it'll be, we'll split it up. We split it up a while back when we put it on POD for drive-thru, so we're going to keep that format just so people don't have to lug around that big book. There'll probably be another pleatherette embossed cover. Definitely we may even just do them, I don't know. I'm guessing we'll have to have books available that don't come in the slipcase, but most of the people I think will probably want that. But there'll be 2 new adventures in it, new covers, new art. Probably going to do some add-ons like a screen, maybe some boons and hexes and some things like that. So
that's cool, and I really appreciate that you're paying all the writers again for this second printing. I think that's fantastic. Right, Reid? I think we.
I agree with that. It's if I ever do a second edition of America, I'm going to have to probably I'm going to have to figure repaying all of the any art I use and any of the writing I did, including David's. I'm going to be.
David's like, what's going on? What's happening? I don't know anything about this.
I thought that was a stab for some reason.
That was a joke. It was a complete joke. But then Reid was like, oh yeah, let's get paid again.
Yeah. No. I mean, Gil and I have discussed it, but I got to take things. There's a lot that I think needs to be redone in America for me to do a second edition. It would not just be a revision. It would be an overhaul to fix all the mistakes I think I made. So, based on the overhauling I've seen or heard about Weird Frontiers, I have a feeling mine actually would require more, just so David could feel better about it. No, but it's true. I really do. So maybe it's not off the table that it might happen at some point.
Wow.
But Bert's got to stop getting all this other busy work so he can actually work on my stuff again. Because he worked on my stuff first.
Yeah, that was just a way for me to make David laugh.
Well, Matt D'Amico took him from me, so
I know.
Bert's a slut.
Bert's just like really talented, so
He is. What would we do
talented
without
slut?
Yeah, I don't know what I would do honestly without Bert. I mean, he literally is a great dude. I just hope honestly, the way we're going to lose him is his little kingdom on the top of the Virginia mountain there is just going to slide into the abyss, and then we're going to lose him.
Yeah,
he lives in a homestead in the middle of nowhere.
Sasquatch is going to take him off and make
no. His flock of chickens will kill him first.
Yes,
and not the chickens, but he does have a goose that absolutely adores him.
Goose. As soon as
I don't trust him.
Bananas, that goose is going to kill him.
I don't like him. I don't trust him. Not at all.
Yeah,
I've gotten into many fight with geese before as a young man.
As a firefighter, I'll never forget.
Really scary.
I'll never forget this as a firefighter. We had a call, and it was a Hispanic male, and he hadn't been in the country long, I don't think, and he was trying to describe him, and he called it a hissing cobra chicken. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He was like a hissing cobra chicken, and we're like, a goose?
That's about right.
Yes.
pine cones are good against their head. I found out as a small kid, as one constantly kept on chasing me, and I beamed one in the head with a pine cone, and I was like, "Take that!" I was like, "That was a good sized pine cone right in your head," because he'd always terrorize me, man. And then everybody's always like, "Oh, look at the Canadian geese." I'm like, "Yeah, well, they're real assholes." Like go mess with them and see what happens to you. They're gonna kick your ass. So this has been great, guys. Like I said, I enjoy these. I hope you do too. I don't know if I need to do more, less. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, let me know.
I would suggest less with the Micco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and boot him out. Like right at the end, we'll boot you out. He's good. And Jeff's, we got clutch people, and I'm glad to have Reid back on. I wanted to have you on again after last week. And Matt, I know we talked. What's that? He's gone crazy. See, he'll do that occasionally, and you have to kind of just you'll be eating dinner with the guy, and this is what happens. No, last week was
it's all good.
Yeah, no, last week was something else. But Matt, thank you so much for showing up. Gullet, of course, and talking about Long Con. You got a good camera too. It's got some nice fidelity. I want to tell you that.
Good.
Looks good. Doesn't it? Doesn't everybody?
When you do OnlyFans, you got to have a good camera, right?
Oh my goodness!
And
where's the robe?
D'Amico, you need more light on your face. You look like you're. Am I right?
No. Less light on his face.
Less. There. That's good now.
He looks like that low rent superhero's arch nemesis.
And Jeff, maybe show off more comic book love next time. I want to see. Maybe you need one of the old 1970s Halloween masks with the rubber band in the back.
Oh, we should all do that.
God, I used to have a bunch of those. It was so easy. You just go to the store.
Well, I guess I know what we're all doing for Halloween now. We're gonna have to do like a Halloween one, and all got to wear masks.
That would be cool. There you go.
Oh, is that Man Wolf? No,
Man Wolf.
Man Wolf.
Oh, wow.
Is that Man Wolf?
Let me spot.
Oh, sweet. That was my favorite Spider-Man villain.
Yeah,
comes with a card too.
Well, because he was a tragic villain, so you actually you didn't want.
Who was his daddy? Last trivia. Who was his daddy?
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes.
Oh, and there's a Power Records that has that on it too. If
Yep.
It's one of the most. It's like one of the most famous Power Records. Is that story right there with him? So, how did his boy get that?
He was an astronaut. Went to the moon.
Okay.
And he got a moon rock. And the moon rock.
Moon rock.
That's right.
Moonstone.
And it was like attached to him. He like pulled it off or something. That's right. So here we go.
And that specific story is kind of Dungeons and Dragons-y with a little floating castle and all that. Great story.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that's great, guys. Well, if that's it. We'll wrap it up. And I appreciate everybody for showing up, taking time to.
Thanks for putting up with me.
Oh, but I'm just happy to do something. Instead of sitting at the house looking at nothing, you know what I mean? Nothing of any importance. I'm like, let's do this and let's talk about stuff. And comics are cool. I'm actually getting more into comics now a little bit, but like we talked about before, Jeff, the Bronze Age, the best era of comic books in my opinion. But and then like movies, we didn't even talk about movies. I mean, Dave's been doing his Halloween movie things. I need to talk to him about that as well. And there's a bunch of that I still need to watch. But I am looking through his list, and he wants me to watch 28 Years Later, right?
Oh no!
Unless you like floppy dongs.
I read your review, and I'm like, I was pseudo going to watch that, but
huge
you saved
uncircumcised floppy dong.
I was like, oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Let's find that on TV.
Yeah, it was bad, man.
I'm like,
that and the female zombie having a baby. It was just.
Well, you have to remember, he loves the Watchmen, so he's used to a lot of blue dong. So
yeah, that's true.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
The zombie had him beat. I'm just going to tell you.
I can film that. It just took me a couple days to film that with them. They reached out to me. But thanks a lot, guys. Matt's, Jeff's, Reid, David Beatty. I really appreciate it. Long Con, X-Crawl. Is it America or Umerica? Umerica.
No.
Umerica.
Like double O.
Umerica. Because I've heard people say multiple different things.
The idea in all of that stuff is I listen to a whole bunch of people mispronouncing stuff, and I'm like, that's what would happen in the apocalypse if there was nobody to correct them. So
right.
That's why most of the stuff. So I went with America because people forget the A.
I got you. And then Jeff's got Dicey Tales, David with Weird Frontiers, and me with this channel and doing other stuff too. So yeah, thanks everybody for showing up, and we will hopefully show up again next time. Whoever wants to show up, and we'll have a lot of fun. So thanks a lot, guys.
Yep. Bye.